I had to grab my coffee. I completely forgot. I'm sitting here making thumbnails and stuff. Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday. I'm glad to be back with you guys. I really am. I took a little hiatus there. Well, actually, it wasn't like I was relaxing or nothing. I had so much stuff to do. It was absolutely crazy. Re. It sounds like a Christmas carol, I swear. Today, guys, ah, man. So I want to take a look back, right? Because I'm like, I lived through, like, I remember most of the 80s. I remember the 90s going through it. I remember how Trump was treated back then, right? Nobody had a problem with him. Everybody held him on a pedestal. And it is such a stark difference to where we are today. Like, either you really love the guy or people really hate him. And it's I'm over here like, you better have a damn good reason to hate somebody that you don't even know, right? And so I got a really cool book. And we're not going to be able to read all of it today, obviously. So I'm going to do this video in several parts. It's called Letters to Trump. And in this book, there are personal letters by celebrities, politicians, world leaders, all kinds of people in here that literally once regarded Donald Trump as a colleague, a friend, a mentor, and something completely different from what they regard him as now. It's very sad to see. I haven't got into it yet. I haven't gotten to read it yet, but I feel like it's going to get pretty interesting, to say the very least, because so many people I could remember praising him that are now like spitting venom at him, right? For instance, I have a video from the Reverend Jesse Jackson. I have videos and evidence on Reverend, the only Reverend who isn't a church leader or one of the first leaders who never held office, Al Sharpton. I have how he felt about Donald Trump. I also have a clip on TikTok that exposes the fake news on Donald Trump, how they piece it together and how they focus and hone in on one solitary word and they make a mountain out of a complete molehill. Like I loved when Trump just trolled the media completely. And the reporter says, are you going to be a dictator? And he goes, only on day one, because as all of us already know, what happened with 46, what happened day one. He got rid of every good policy that Trump had put in office. And after we're done with this letters to Trump, I literally just bought myself the 100 good things that Donald Trump did, right? It is called, let me check my Amazon because I literally just bought it probably 30, 40 minutes ago. Let's see. Orders. Okay, it is called the 100 Promises Donald Trump Made and Kept. So that is it. See it? That's the one I got. I don't know if you can see there you go. Top 100 Trump promises made and kept promises. And you guys, that is again another reason why I'll be voting for him, because he kept his promises. He didn't need politics to get rich. So before we dig into the letters to Trump book, and I'm going to show you the pages and everything, I believe in complete transparency, guys. I think that we've been lied to enough, and it sucks. How is everybody? How are you guys? How are you? He had to pay evil Dems back then. As soon as he literally said, I'm gonna go Republican, that is when the backs officially turned on him and a bunch of knives were placed into his back. It's very insane to watch. First, you guys, before we kick things off, I do want to remind you that Christmas is right around the corner, with Christmas being literally how many days away? 9. Santa will be here in 9 days. So Mike Lindell, what he had just promised is, if you get your fanny over to mypillow.com and use that website that's scrolling on the bottom of your screen right here, and or call the phone number, and my promo code will automatically be applied. You will save up to 80% off. This is a sponsor of today's video, by the way. I forgot to say that. I'm no good at this stuff. He guarantees shipping by Christmas. You'll get it right away. And My Pillow does ship relatively quickly. They have gift cards and everything. Save up to 80% off with promo code JustJen. And yeah, you guys, Christmas is coming, so Santa is right around the corner. So make sure you guys visit My Pillow website, and you'll get all kinds of discounts. Even if you don't want to buy for the ungrateful effers in your life, get yourself something nice, hey, would you? Okay. Now that I've shared this, I want to give you a little glimpse into Vanity Fair, right? Because obviously we're going to see some people who are real backstabby in the media, and in this book we're going to figure out who has backstabbed him the worst. Probably Oprah is in there, I'm guessing. But Vanity Fair. Now, he's had a long-standing feud with Vanity Fair editor, but whatever. I mean, they're both from New York, and they're both New Yorkers with those New York attitudes. So I wanted to show you guys this. Let's do this. I'm like, how do I do this again? Actually, you guys, I took some time off to empty out a storage unit, and it was a big one. And I'm so sore, you have no idea. Okay, so Vanity Fair. This is how Vanity Fair felt about Trump before he announced he would run as a Republican. They called Trump a family man. They said he had good morals and good values. This is when he was married to Marla Maples. I want to just show you guys how they talked about him, his Trump family values. Look at him and Marla Maples. Look at this. He's on the cover of Vanity Fair. They speak so eloquently about him, but not today, they don't. So this was then, and I want to show you the now, which is relatively funny because they have a chick by the name of Bess Levin, who is a writer for Vanity Fair. Now her Trump derangement syndrome is absolutely proudly displayed here, right? As if things couldn't get any worse for humanity, Trump is reportedly laying the groundwork for a 2024 run. And Bess Levin here goes off the rails on the TDS Express. It is absolutely ridiculous. I'm not even going to read what she says to anybody in here, because you could see once upon a time ago, oh, Trump is a good man. He's a great businessman. He's made the New York skyline. And now all of a sudden he is Satan to these people. So this chick this is all she does. She's supposed to be a political writer, but she basically, it's open season to hate on Republicans. And Trump, he is in her throne of hatred. She literally, speaking of Trump, look what I just got myself. I got another Trump ornament that you have to donate to Win Red to get that. And it was a $75 well spent. But do you see how I mean? Choo choo, time to all aboard the TDS Express. And Bess Levin is the conductor. That's all she talks about. A disastrous. She says it was Donald Trump's disastrous situation in Afghanistan. She blamed. All right. She blamed Trump for this, and this is just gross. All right, here is fake news on Trump, and I want to show you guys this. It's a couple of minute long video. It's not that long. I think 3 minutes at best, but I want to show you guys the media, their lies being exposed right before our very own eyeballs. So here, check this out. I'll blow it up for you guys to see. I hate that up and down vertical stuff. What you want, boy?
It's time for me to get the cookie because it's already afternoon.
Oh, you want a cookie? You could have one, and that's it.
But I can't open it.
Yeah, you can. Take it up to Matthew. He'll open it for you. And guess what? He'll want one too, because those are his favorites. So make sure he only has one. Tell him Mommy said you can only have one. Okay? Okay?
You can do it, okay?
No, I'm not doing it. You can do it. All right, sorry, y'all.
I don't know.
The New York Times and CNN shared a story with photos of immigrant children in
Look at that,
cages.
man.
It turns out the photos were from 2014 during the Obama administration. CNN edited a video to
Here,
make it appear
that's
as though
all
Trump
you get.
patiently dumped a box of fish food into the water in Japan.
There.
The full video showed Trump had simply
Go.
followed the lead
Go
of
by your
Japan's
brother.
prime minister.
I'll give my brother one too.
In December 2018, NBC reported Trump was the first president since 2002 not to visit the troops at
Take
Christmas
one to
time.
your
But
brother.
Trump actually left the White House on Christmas to visit.
You better
troops in
take that
Iraq.
to your brother.
In November 2019, Newsweek falsely reported that President Trump was spending Thanksgiving golfing in Florida.
Watch this.
He was actually in Afghanistan serving dinner to U.S. troops. Time incorrectly reported that President Trump had removed the bust statue of Martin Luther King Jr. from the Oval Office. That false news went viral. TMZ reported Trump had changed the name Black History Month to African American History Month, implying the change was racist. In fact, it turns out Presidents Obama, George W. Bush, and Clinton all called Black History Month African American History Month. Also, the Washington Post reported on the cabinet battle over Trump's immigration order. The article was
Watch this.
repeatedly updated to note that one of the reported meetings did not actually occur. A conference call did not happen as described in the article, and actions attributed to Trump were actually carried out by his chief of staff. And the New York Times reported on supposed
Surprise.
contacts between Trump campaign staff and senior Russian intelligence officials. FBI Director James Comey later testified it was not true.
That report by the New York Times was not true. Is that a fair statement?
In the main, it was not true. Credo che sia molto importante che la gente.
In May, the BBC and The Guardian reported because Trump wasn't wearing headsets, he didn't bother to listen to the translation of a speech by Italy's prime minister.
Per lo sviluppo dell'Africa.
But Trump was wearing his earpiece in his right ear, as always, said the White House.
Ain't that something? It's just like the current situation with the Kansas City Chiefs fan, that 9-year-old, that Deadpool or what Dead Shark, I don't even know what his name is. They slandered that kid in the media, and that's what the media does, though. They spin these webs of lies, and even when they get caught lying, they don't own up to it, and they're not held accountable. Another reason why I love Elon Musk is because he adds community notes, man, and there you can fact check people and be like, no, you're wrong. And Twitter is one boss app, and they are like, yep, we are going to call out these liars today. All right, back to this. I'm going to back it up just a little bit.
Yeah.
But Trump was wearing his earpiece in his right ear, as always, said the White House. In June 2017, NBC News reported that Russian President Putin said he had compromising information about Trump. Actually, Putin said the opposite.
Do you have something damaging on our president?
Well, this is just another load of nonsense. Where would we get this information from?
CNN and ABC falsely reported that FBI Director Comey was going to refute Donald Trump's claim that Comey told Trump 3 times he wasn't under investigation. Instead, Comey confirmed Trump's claim under oath.
It appears that you actually
Hey, girl.
volunteered that assurance. Is that correct?
That's correct.
CNN retracted a report claiming Congress was investigating a Russian investment fund with ties to Trump officials. Newsweek reported Poland's first lady refused to shake Trump's hand, but later acknowledged she did. Bloomberg and the Wall Street Journal falsely reported special counsel Robert Mueller had subpoenaed Trump's bank records. AP reported a new survey showed trust in the media had fallen during the Trump presidency, but the survey was actually conducted under President Obama. The New York Times said a hypothetical
why.
family's tax bill would rise nearly $4,000 under Trump's tax plan. It turns out their taxes would actually go down $43. ABC aired video purportedly showing a slaughter and horrific report of atrocities against Kurds by Turkey after President Trump withdrew U.S. troops.
This video right here appearing to show Turkey's
Watch
military
this.
bombing Kurd civilians in a Syrian border town.
But the video was file tape of a training video in the U.S. CBS aired a story in March of 2020, supposedly showing a New York hospital crowded with coronavirus patients.
It's all hands on deck in America's hospitals.
It was actually file tape from Italy. A week later, CBS News mistakenly used the Italy video again. The New York Times and CNN shared a story with photos of immigrant.
How about them apples, everybody? Don't you love it when they get exposed for being the liars that they are? It's disgusting. And say whatever you will about TikTok, there you can find a lot of really good things. A lot of good things, especially the stuff that, you know, places like this won't allow you to see. How about that cyber attack we just had last week? Huh. Ain't that something? You know, on my Rumble page, you guys, since if you're not following me there on Rumble, there's my Rumble link. It's also in my description. Now, the video that I will be watching in its entirety, its whole part 1, we're going to watch the Obama video. Now, it's a new Netflix special. I will jump on the sword, I guess, or fall on the sword for you guys and buy my Netflix again. I got rid of it when Cuties came, when they promoted Cuties, that movie that you know what it is. So I'll fall on the sword for you guys, and I'll get Netflix, and we'll do that on Rumble, seeing as we can't do that here, but we can on Rumble. So make sure you're following me there so that we can watch it, and I'll let it play all the way through, and then I'll stop at the end, and I'll take notes while we're watching this. But supposedly, you know, it's basically Democrat fashion of they're telling you exactly what the hell they're doing. And people just look, oh, duh, what do we do, George? What do we do? Yeah, so I'm pretty anxious to watch this because it does talk about cyber attacks and everything else. Okay, so let's go on to this. Al Sharpton. Good old Reverend Al Sharpton. He is not a politician. He never held office, and he's certainly not a reverend. What is he? I think he is a royal pain in the ass, what I think he is. Now, this clip here is called Media ITE, and here's the close working relationship he had once had with Al Sharpton. What I find remarkably disturbing about this is how Al Sharpton talks about him today. Now, Trump donated thousands, and he had a close working relationship with Al Sharpton. Long before the Republican presidential candidate became a presidential candidate or a Republican, Donald Trump had a working relationship with Al Sharpton, including doing favors for the racial activist, aka race baiter, and giving him thousands in donations. National Review reports that Sharpton and Trump first became partners in the 1980s when Trump wanted to sell Atlantic City's casinos as a tourist destination. He reached out to Sharpton to help bring famed boxer announcer Don King into his corner, and the pair became regular boxing buddies and occasional business associates. Trump went to donate anywhere between 20 and 150,000 to Sharpton's charities, the National Youth Movement. How racist of him. Oh my God. So, news reports during Sharpton's 2004 presidential run listed Trump as one of Sharpton's mentors. So here, Al Sharpton is running for president, and he called Donald Trump, well, a mentor of his. But now he's calling him a racist and a bigot and a homophobe and all of this, that, and the other. Well, was he racist or homophobic when he was giving you them thousands and probably hundreds of thousands of dollars? I think not. So I find it remarkably disturbing how he treats Donald Trump today. As of late 2004, Trump was accused of letting Sharpton's alleged mistress into a luxury apartment in Trump's place, lacking the necessary credit and income. Donald didn't own this building, says one of the National Review's sources, but Sharpton asked if he could get his friend who didn't have credit standards into the building, and Donald accommodated. So you see what I mean? I can't stand it when people are bitching about my side of the street when theirs is full of dirt and garbage too. My goodness. So for Donald Trump to do all of these things, and no wonder why they hate him so much, is because he's got dirt on literally everybody. So that's very reverend like of you, huh, Al? Anyways, Trump actually addressed their relationship during a Fox News hit last December. I know Sharpton very well. I've always gotten along with him, to be honest with you. There are those who say Sharpton likes Trump a lot. Al's a con man. He knows it. I know it. Don King knows it. His friend and I go with the fights with Al, and they all know it. So again, here we see yet one person in particular who is all over the mainstream media. He is a racial activist, well, race baiter. Everything is about race. Donald Trump is the most racist person on earth. He never says anything about the things that Joe Biden has said and done that are absolute, the definition and meet the criteria of racism. Not a word. Not a word, because I guarantee you, money is passed to turn that other cheek. And for him to say anything about Trump when you have a mistress yourself and you ask Trump to put up your mistress, Van fun kulu. That's what I got to say. I can't stand two-faced people. And a reason why I'm going to be doing this video today too, you guys, dude, how many people do you know out there, right? I know a couple people personally who absolutely were for Donald Trump all the way, Trumpers, right? And now because, well, maybe change of location, I don't know, maybe we're trying to be something that we're not, who fucking knows? But no, I'm a never Trumper. No, you weren't. And it's like super crazy because, like, what do you think? Like, do you think I have amnesia? Do you think I'm retarded? Because I'm not. So that's another reason why I did today's video, because I'm like, dude, people are so damn two-faced. It's not even funny. All right. Now, the Reverend Jesse Jackson. I can remember when he tried running for president and Donald Trump actually donated to his presidential campaign. So we're going to play a video here by Reverend Jesse Jackson, and we're going to see just how two-faced this motherfucker is. Like, look, man, this is on C-SPAN too, so here we go. This is only 3 minutes long.
I do want to express thanks to you, Donald Trump, for being with us tonight. We need your building skills, your gusto, your rent package for people on Wall Street who represent diversity. And we thank you for coming tonight. Let's give Donald Trump a big hand.
Now, the title on this video on YouTube is Jesse Jackson praises and thanks Donald Trump for a lifetime of service to African Americans. Wow. So,
a big hand for Donald Trump. I now want to bring forth a friend who has, well, he is deceptive in that his social style is of such. One can miss his seriousness and his commitment, for his success is beyond argument. When we opened this Wall Street project and we talked about it, he gave us space at 40 Wall Street, which was to make a statement about our having a presence there. And beyond that, in terms of reaching out and being inclusive, he's done that too. And created for many people a comfort zone when I ran for the presidency in 84 and 88.
I remember
many
that.
Others thought it was either laughable or something to avoid. He came to our business meeting here in New York because he has this sense of the curious and a will to risk to make things better. And so aside from all of his style and his pizzazz, he is a serious person who's an effective builder of building for the builder people. Last year, he was a part of our workshop of our panel workshop on what are the challenges and opportunities. And so this, a year later, Donald Trump, for a few minutes, challenges and opportunities to embrace the underserved communities. Donald Trump.
Wow. Those are some pretty powerful words, Jesse.
I will tell you, a large percentage of the people, and especially in construction, that are building these great jobs are Black and minorities, and I'm very proud of it. We have close to 25%, and I think the number's going up, and they do a great job. There are no better builders than we have in New York, and a big percentage of that is Black and minority folks. So I just want to thank everybody in the room for being here. I look forward to some questions. And then I don't know how we're ever going to leave this building today, because if you look outside, it is terrible. But we'll figure a way. There's always a way. And thank you, Jesse, and congratulations.
Absolutely.
He was very much in touch with life and death. He
Absolutely amazing. So now they're talking about this video skipped to what you call it, a video on MLK and his assassination. We already know who did that, but hey. So what about that? Ain't that something? Those are some pretty strong words, right? No matter his pizzazz or whatnot, he's always he's a serious person, and he thrives on making things better. And so make America great again seemed like the best catchphrase for Donald Trump because of what has happened since the Obama administration. Well, shit, since little George Bush Jr., since his administration. You know, it's remarkably just politics are so ugly. They really are. And I liked your comment when I highlighted your comment, and it says, I remember when Donald Trump says, if I ever run for president, you know damn well America needs my help. You know that it's really bad when I got to run for president. And that is why I think he was such a breath of fresh air in 2016. Like, here we go. Finally, we don't need a man to come into office to use that position to be wealthy. This guy's a billionaire. He doesn't need politics to make money like the other ones have. If you look at all of these politicians like Nancy Pelosi, Obama, Clinton, Biden, look at how before they were elected and look at where they are today. It's astounding how much money that these people literally made off of their political careers. It's like, that ain't what your salary is. How you do that? You know, when you look at Nancy Pelosi, her net worth is somewhere around $126 million. She has a congressional salary of $179,000 per year. Now, in order to make $126 million, she would have to have been in office 3,567 years. You know, and it was Nancy who struck down when they put the bill in Congress to say that Congress members are not allowed to participate in insider trading. She struck it down, and so did a bunch of Republicans too, by the way. So a lot of them do make a lot of money that way. It's really disturbing, just to say the least. What's up, bud? What do you want?
I have to tell you something.
What you got to tell me?
Matthew said he didn't want the cookie.
He said he didn't want the cookie, so who ate it?
I did.
Oh.
It was pretty delicious.
All right, thank you.
We bought everything from Giant Eagle yesterday.
Yeah, we spent $100 on 12 items.
Yes. And we had to go see my brother's concert. It was very, very, very great.
It was. You got a loose front tooth, huh?
Yes. And
who's the best president in the whole wide world?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. All right, go see your brother for mommy. I have to read this book now.
I have to tell you something.
Okay, what do you got to tell me?
So, I lost 2 teeth on the same year.
How did you get those teeth out?
I pulled one out.
He did. He pulled his teeth out. He's weird.
Well, this one right here started going,
Here.
and then this.
This here. Now, all right. I gotta go. Come
I
on.
was in the bed, then it actually came out.
No, you ripped it out. You're weird. You ripped it. I just got a bunch of. Okay, I gotta finish this. Okay, go. Run. Scurry off. All right, you guys. So I did get this from Vincent Everett Ellison as well. So I encourage you guys to read this one. This is called The Iron Triangle and how the Dems are doing it. Okay, this is something that you can't hear. Okay, after you're done, if you listen, we'll go hang this on the tree. If you listen. All right, go on now, skedaddle. Boop, boop. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.
Donald Trump has that on his tree.
Donald Trump has what on his tree?
Yes.
Yeah, it's better than the Iowa State House and what the White House have right now. All right, go on now. We're talking politics. That's for big people. Bye-bye. Love you. All right, here's the big book, you guys. It is pretty thick. All right, stop. Go. I'm going to call Santa Claus right now. I'm going to tell him. You're being bad. Oh, all right. So as you can see, this book it cost me. I can call him during a reaction. They'll wait. Go wash your hands too. I see your nails are gross. I don't know how that happened. So here, as you can see on the back of the book, this goes back, you guys. So he literally has kept these records and these letters that long. So we're going to read it. We're going to read the book today. Sorry, I just did that by mistake. All right. How are we, guys? How are we? So far, so what? I know it glows in the dark. I know that. I made it. All right. So inside of the cover here. Now, I'm going to read this to you. It says Donald John Trump launched the most extraordinary political movement in history, dethroning political dynasties, defeating the Washington establishment, and becoming the first true outsider elected as president of the United States. The forgotten men and women of America were forgotten no more because we finally had a president who put America first. It's going to make me cry. Though his pro-American policies on trade, taxes, energy, regulation, immigration, and healthcare, President Trump ushered in a period of unprecedented economic growth, job creation, soaring wages, and booming incomes. Median household income reached its highest level ever recorded. Middle-class families' income increased more than 5 times from the previous administration. Unemployment reached its lowest rate in half a century, and African American, Hispanic American, and Asian American unemployment reached their lowest levels ever recorded. President Trump boldly unleashed American energy and our first nation to become the world's #1 producer of oil and natural gas in the world. Under President Trump, America led the world in reducing carbon emissions. As a steward of our natural resources, President Trump signed the Great Outdoors Act, the most significant investment in our national parks since Theodore Roosevelt's presidency. As president, he was an unwavering champion for our nation's heroes in uniform. He always stood proudly with our country's extraordinary and courageous police officers, sheriffs, and law enforcement professionals. That he did. He fought relentlessly for our nation's military service members and invested trillions of dollars in the American armed forces to ensure our warriors had the tools, support, and resources they need. He fundamentally reformed the Department of Veterans Affairs, ending the past era of scandal and ensuring our country's treasured veterans were given the treatment and care they have earned and deserve. Very well. Very well. That is continued. How beautiful. We have the presidential seal at the first page here and letters to Trump. Boy, oh boy, you guys, did I get probably one of the finest pieces of Trump memorabilia. I have an autographed signed copy, literally autographed it's called Crippled America. And it's a book that Donald Trump wrote a few years ago. And that's right up there on my top shelf, still wrapped in the paper. And it's got the sticker on it and everything. Let me tell you something, man. That is my prized Trump possession. All right, here's the first page. This book is absolutely glorious. Now, you can get this book, but it's expensive. I'm not going to lie. It is well worth every penny. It's made very well. I'm no book reviewer, but I'm going to be. Because you can be whatever you want to be. Check that out. President Donald J. Trump. This book was inspired by the tremendous success we had in writing Our Journey Together, a collection of memorable photographs from the years of my presidency. And why not? It was a very glamorous and productive period. We were respected all over the world and had the greatest economy in history. Twice, and lots of positive things were happening. Prior to my time in the White House, I had 2 excellent executive assistants. They had a fabulous system of saving letters, and especially what they considered to be important ones. Over the years, these letters increased, and now I have thousands of them, all saved and all in good condition. The concept of creating a book of letters with photos and strong statements about individuals the world wants to hear about immediately caught both my eye and my mind. I hope you will find it very interesting to read these personal and historic letters. I wish everyone well. Oh my God. He's going to throw the dirt out, you guys. Let me move this over. I hope it doesn't fall again, because it does have it does do that from time to time. So beautifully done, man. This book is absolutely stunning on all levels. Very patriotic, and I love it. The first letter, the first one up, Richard Nixon, right? And then they include a great picture. So on this page here, you'll get to see a letter, and then the picture of whom wrote that letter, and then a description from Donald Trump himself. So I'll read you the letter that Nixon wrote. You know, it's crazy, because like with the Watergate scandal of Richard Nixon, he literally resigns and avoids all kinds of prosecution. It's crazy. It's kind of what that other lady just did. Miss Wolf. Dear Donald, this was written December 21st, 1987. Dear Donald, I did not see the program, but Mrs. Nixon told me that you were great on the Donahue show. As you can imagine, she is an expert on politics, and she predicts that whatever you decide to run for office, or whenever you decide to run for office, you will be a winner. With warm regards, sincerely, Richard Nixon. Wow. So here we have Tricky Dick signing, or I'm sorry, just giving Trump a nice embrace here. President Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon was a very smart guy who I got to know primarily in his later years after he was forced from the White House. Many people don't know just how smart he was. He went to a small college, yet was considered brilliant by most. He could have gone to school anywhere, but he did not have the finances to do so. His problem was intensity. He was intense beyond recognition. His anger was unparalleled and got him into trouble. His biggest mistake was that he didn't fight when Barry Goldwater and a group of senators and congressmen came to him on that very dark and dreary evening in the White House and said, Mr. President, you have no votes. You've got to resign immediately. He resigned. It was the regret of his life that he didn't fight back, and very much unlike the man I knew. That's crazy. I didn't know that. See, I guess you learn everything. Oh, Governor Mario Cuomo, the famous Cuomos. All right, here's the letter. I have to get I'm going to take this cover off because I don't want to rip it, and I like to keep my stuff in pretty good condition here, y'all. I don't want to break everything. Okay, so this is Governor Mario Cuomo. Here's the letter. Here's the picture of Trump and Cuomo. Let's read what it says. Dear Donald, Thank you for your recommendation on the Buffalo Sports Stadium. We certainly appreciate your coming forward and donating both time and energy to the public service. It is your kind of spirit that reassures me that New York has a bright future indeed. Sincerely, Mario. So, Governor Mario Cuomo. I was a big supporter of Mario Cuomo and never asked him for anything. But then, long after he left office, I did ask him for a favor, something that was very easy for him to have done. And he turned me down. I was furious with him and never spoke to him again. This would have been a positive event, nothing bad or daring, but I felt him to be extremely disloyal. So, if you don't know who he was, he served as a governor of New York for 3 terms from 83 to 94, after serving as New York's lieutenant governor and secretary of state. So, thank you, Donald, for your time and your energy. Thank you for the Buffalo Stadium and everything, but sorry, I can't never return the favor. That's kind of crazy. Roy Cohen. I don't know who Roy Cohen is, but we're going to find out. There's not one, but there's, oh, okay, they printed it out because like doctors' writings and, it's chicken scratch. I'm really glad that they translated it here because I'm like, that English? Yeah. Okay, so July 19th, 1984. Oh, I forgot when that other one was written from Cuomo. That was June 25th, 84. So this is June 19th. Oh, they're going in chronological order. Would you look at that? July 19th, 1984. Kind of like what we're in now, right? 1984. Dear Donald, winning the case was much more than a legal landmark that any lawyer would treasure, as I do. It represents another high point in the 15 years of excitement and challenge that have marked my representation of you. Without your infectious enthusiasm and constant prodding, the victory might not have been possible. You proved that even in this day and age, you can fight City Hall and win. I don't imagine that there are 2 people around who are thought of as tougher than the 2 of us. And we both know that in personal relationship that is not accurate. This is my way of saying how very much I appreciate your letter to me, which is being framed alongside the picture of us. May there be many more. Roy. He must be a lawyer. Oh, he was. He was an esteemed lawyer and prosecutor. Okay. I only wish Roy was around to represent me. Roy was a great lawyer. He knew everyone, but was also very controversial. I didn't mind that, but many people did. If you were represented by Roy Cohen, when you went out to dinner, other people would be furious. I remember one time when those who were with me left the table and never came back, which was okay by me. If Roy liked and respected you, he was one of the greatest lawyers ever. If he didn't, it almost seemed to me that he wanted to lose the case. But one thing with Roy, when he wanted to win, it was hard to stop him. There were very few like him. That's nice. I like to see like who he respected as well. That's really cool. So not only are we going to see who is backstabbing and two-faced, but the people that he also, has high regards for. All right, we got Malcolm Forbes. Malcolm Forbes, he's a publisher of what's known as Forbes magazine. I wish I had dual cameras so you could see what I'm reading right now, like one overhead. But so this will have to do. Sorry. All right. So apparently, okay, so there's a letter from Malcolm Forbes, and then the description is here in the president box right there, President Donald J. Trump. Okay, so July 31st, 1984, Malcolm Forbes writes to Donald Trump. Dear Donald, of course, anything that is so joltingly reminds us of the wee balance by which we all hang is disconcerting. In the case of my recent separation from my motorcycle, one happy result has been truly enjoy such thoughtfulness as yours. I have to share one note received. Our son was also injured 6 years ago, hit by a car. He hardly got any calls or cards and was upset by that, so I try to make others feel someone cares. From now on, thanks to you, this sinner bio mission shall make a similar resolve. We all learn the hard way that such expressions of caring do lift the spirit. Many thanks. Warmest best, Malcolm S. Forbes. Okay, here we go. So, Malcolm Forbes always treated me very well. He often invited me to his yacht to cruise up to West Point along with friends. He was a very gregarious person. I don't even know. Gregarious. I'm like, what the fuck is that word? Gregarious person who managed Forbes magazine well. But that was much easier business then. Magazines made a lot of money, whereas today, very tough. Malcolm was proud of his family and had great confidence in Steve, who also did a fantastic job with Forbes. When I married Melania, Steve presented me with his father's motorcycle as a wedding gift, which I still have, and one day I will put it on display. See, I love this. I love the fact that he was loved by people, and then, he loved them just back. Oh my God, look at who it is on the back of Malcolm Forbes's his motorcycle. Elizabeth Taylor. Get out of here. My God. Oh my. That's a very nice Harley Davidson too. Look at them. Here's gonna be a good one. President Ronald Reagan. All right. This was written April 19th, 1985. Dear Mr. Trump, 3 years ago, I announced the formation of the President's International Youth Exchange Initiative, a joint effort of the private and public sectors to promote mutual understanding among our young people and our younger people of our closest allies, the United Kingdom, the Federal Republic of Germany, Japan, France, Canada, and Italy. The original trial effort has since been expanded and now includes 30 countries. The President's Council has been instrumental in promoting the initiative. I would like to extend my personal thanks to you for your generosity in supporting this worthwhile program. The $4 million pledged by members of the President's Council have permitted over 12,000 young people to benefit from an international experience. Giving these young people the opportunity to visit a foreign country and live with a host family is one of the most effective ways to build bridges and understanding among future generations. Wow. Thank you for all you have done for the initiative over the past 3 years. Sincerely, Ronald Reagan. What is that, like a exchange student program or something? That sounds really cool. I remember we had an exchange student in our school a couple of times. We had a kid from Croatia. We had a kid from France. We had a couple from Japan. Okay, so here's what he says about Ronald Reagan. I met President Ronald Reagan at the White House. I was doing well in real estate, and they invited me to come to invited some people to come to the White House, and I was one of them. I always thought he had a great style, look, and delivery. He was a cue card man. He would take a card out of his pocket and really perform well. He was also a very talented reader of teleprompters, something of which very few people are. He represented our country well, and our people were proud to call him our president. That's pretty cool. So if you guys don't know, if you're not from America, Ronald Reagan was the 40th president of the United States from 1981 to 1989. He served 2 tours. During the Reagan administration, we had the war on drugs, just so you know. We also had the wall between East and West Germany taken down. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. We had that. It was the collapse of the Berlin Wall. It was pretty cool, man. So he was the 33rd governor of California after a successful career as a Hollywood actor. So yeah. Well, look at it, la-di-da, motherfuckers. 1985, May 10th. That's my birthday, but I was 5 years old at that point. Dear Donald, this is another one from Richard Nixon. This is just a note to express my congratulations and deep appreciation for your very generous contribution to the Vietnam Day celebration. It is indeed gratifying to note that after 10 long years, the American people appreciate the sacrifice of those who served the nation in a long and difficult war. Back in 1970, John Lindsay was quoted as saying, "Our best young men went to Canada." I responded to my book, No More Vietnams, by observing that our best young men went to Vietnam. Your contribution helped bring that message home. With warm regards, sincerely, Richard Nixon. And then he wrote Nixon back, and he wrote him back pretty quickly. In fact, May 23rd is when he wrote him back. So about 2 weeks later, "Dear President Nixon, thanks for your heartwarming letter of May 10th. I must confess, while I have always had great sympathy for the Vietnam veterans and their plight, I truly felt the impact of the movement when I marched in the parade. Because of my extraordinary respect for your and admiration for you and your accomplishments, your letter was all the more meaningful. You did a great service to this country when you extricated us from the war in Vietnam. Thank you again. Please give my warmest to the Mrs. Nixon and Tricia. Sincerely, Donald J. Trump." Man, this is amazing. So he get another letter from Roy Cohen. Here's a picture of Donald, I think, in New York, and there's he looked really good back then too, man. What a dapper Don. Okay, so Roy Cohen wrote this to him July 14th, 1985. "Dear Donald, the Trump family are very near and dear to me, and in a selfish, ungrateful world, my friendships with them has been a standout. I particularly admire not only the guts and the brilliance, but the steadfast loyalty to family and friends that you have never forsaken." Good man. "I've received your message. Hopefully this sleazy move will quickly pass without further difficulty to my friends. You are the closest of them. Are there? You always are. I enjoyed the climb up the ladder by you. The only problem is, where is there left to go? Thank you and bless you, Roy." Amazing. Ooh, he got a letter from Bob Hope, you guys. Look at that. And he's with the Rat Pack. Get out of here. Well, most of them here. Bob Hope, Ronald Reagan, Dean Martin. Okay, so January 9th, 1987. "Dear Donald, sorry we didn't get to see your new pad down in Palm Beach in January, but we were going to be there on February 21st, and Dolores and I would love to take a peek at it. We're going to be staying with Bunny DuPont, of the DuPont dynasty. Man, it'd be so nice to be a rich person. A dear friend we've always stayed with, but we'd love to go over there and see this $12 million home that you claim is only worth $7 million. This should be given to Alina Habba in the bullshit case that New York is suing Donald Trump and saying that he overinflated the value of his home. He undervalued it. So in 1987, Bob Hope says, "We would love to go over and see this $12 million home that you claim is only worth $7 million. Anyway, if you're not going to be there, just forget it this time, and maybe we can come visit sometime when you are there. Regards, Bob." Look at this. Check that out. That is insanity. I have a funny feeling that he's trying to not brag and bolster, like, here's my house, it was $7 million. When in fact he paid 12. I can see him doing that. I can see him being like, you know what? Which I think it's rude to ask people, like, how much did you pay for this, Pat? You know what I mean? Habba should reference this book. Oh boy, the Cardinal John O'Connor was the Archbishop of New York from 1984 to 2000. So There's him. All right, so the Cardinal wrote, Dear Donald, having just returned from my pastoral trip to the Holy Land and Rome, I'm trying to catch up on some correspondence. I want to send my sincere thanks to you and Ivana for your gift of $1,000 to the Cardinals Fund for Children. As you know, we have a great need in the city of New York for the value-centered child care. Your very generous contribution will help us fulfill what I believe is our God-given mission. I hope that your holidays were happy. It was a joy to see you at the cathedral for Christmas. Be assured of my prayer for a happy and healthy new year. Faithfully yours in Christ, the Archbishop of New York. This was January 12th, 1987. Wow. That's crazy how things have changed. Okay, so Senator Edward Kennedy wrote Donald a letter, and this was on February 24th, 1987. Mr. Donald Trump, I had hoped to get this note to you sooner, but it was delayed by our Senate office and our most recent Washington blizzard. However, I didn't want to let another day pass without writing to thank you for your generous and warm hospitality to Teddy and me. I only wish we could have viewed with you the extraordinary victory parade you organized for the America Cup victors. Both Teddy and I are grateful for the time you spent with us, Donald. We both send our best regards. Sincerely, Eddie, and who is that? Ed and Ted. Bills and Ted. Ted and Edward. I got to know Ted Kennedy very well because of our relationship to Palm Beach, Florida. I helped him with something important and confidential to him and his family. My assistance made a big difference, and he never forgot it. While we were very different in terms of policies and our views of the country, we in many ways had things in common. But primarily, we enjoyed being with each other and learning what the other side thought. He was intelligent, he was sharp, and he did a very good job for the people of Massachusetts. So Senator Ed Kennedy was elected at 30 to fill the seat formerly held by his brother, President John F. Kennedy. Ted spent the next 47 years representing Massachusetts in the United States Senate. Was that? That no shit. Huh. All right then. Oh, this one's gonna be cool. This is Andrew Lloyd Webber. He orchestrated. He wrote the Phantom of the Opera, man. The Phantom of the Opera. Let me take a sip of this because my I need to wet my whistle. November. Well, he must be like from England or something. I don't know where Andrew Lloyd Webber is from, but like I know it's from a different country when you have the date and then the month and then the year, because we do month and day and then year here. Okay, 20 November 1987. Dear Donald, a short note to thank you very much indeed for the magnum of champagne you kindly sent me a few days ago. A most welcome gift to greet me on my arrival back in New York. I should be very well pleased if you and your wife could join me as my guest at the opening of the Phantom of the Opera at the Majestic Theater on January 26th, and shall looking forward to hearing from you would be able to attend. With very best wishes, yours sincerely, Andrew Lloyd Webber. That's so cool. Oh, Andrew Lloyd Webber lived in Trump Tower for a long time while he was married to Sarah Brightman. Oh, that's so cool. She played the lady. What was her name? Sing for me. I forgot. Bless it. I forget now. I like them both very much, but Sarah had a proclivity for having open windows. And Trump Tower is an all-glass building. The window washers would go up and down the tower on a monthly basis, blasting sides with soap and water to keep it nice and clean. Sarah's window was always open. It would blast the hell out of that apartment. Andrew always took it well, but Sarah less so. He is great. And looking at this letter was such an honor to go to opening night of the Phantom of the Opera because it turned out to be one of my all-time favorites. The writing and music, that of a genius. So he says, Andrew Lloyd Webber is one of the very few people to receive an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony Award. He has composed the scores for some of the world's most famous musicals, including Phantom of the Opera, Cats, Evita, Sunset Boulevard, and among many others. Gene MacArthur. Oh my, this is going to be really cool. December 3rd, 1987. Dear Donald, please excuse my typed note. Unfortunately, I developed one of those virus bugs that are going around and it's left me quite weak. I can't believe to tell you how deeply I appreciate that lovely autograph in your book. This touched me so very much, and in time, I will send your book to be placed in my husband's library as a foundation in Norfolk, Virginia. Take care of yourself and dear Ivana, and I look forward to seeing both of you during the holidays. May 1988 bring you all the blessings you so deserve. Love to all, Gene. I was always a big fan of General Douglas MacArthur because of the New York scene. Got to know his wife, Jean, quite well in her later years. She loved and respected her husband more than anything else. She admired what he had accomplished. People don't realize he was a great intellect who finished #1 in his class at West Point and was supposedly the best student in history, in the whole history of the school. Jean was a fine lady who carried on his legacy for years after his death. That's so nice, man, to see a loyal woman loving her husband. What the hell? I just got this book dirty. Oh my God, my greasy fingers. Oh, he got something from the First Lady, Nancy Reagan, too. Nancy famously came up with the Just Say No slogan, and it was the campaign for the war on drugs, which we didn't win. Look at it today, you know. And this letter from White House stationery, right, was June 8th, 1988. Dear Donald. Well, no, it's from Ronald. It's signed Ronald Reagan. Nancy and I are delighted to send our heartfelt congratulations on your birthday. May the sun shine on your celebration and may all your wishes come true. Our thoughts and warmest regards will be with you on your special day, and always happy birthday, and may God bless and keep you for many more. Sincerely, Ronald Reagan. I think that's great. That's great that they did it. He got another letter from Ronald Reagan. Now, this was February 23rd, 1988. Dear Mr. Trump, Dwayne Andreas and Jack Myers have told me your commendable role in supporting the foundation commemoration of the United States Constitution. You don't say. I want you to know that by serving on the foundation's executive council, you do more than lend added importance to our cause. Because of your leadership position in the private sector, you have the opportunity to influence a fundamental understanding and regard for the document that guides, protects, and preserves our nation. I can think of a few more important goals than assuring that all Americans, especially young people, learn the principles and values of our Constitution. Its vulnerability, if not safeguarded, its durability, if maintained. Please accept my heartfelt thanks and my encouragement for setting an example and performing a service that will benefit the country for generations to come. Man, I think that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Look at this. Looks like the Sistine Chapel. I don't know, man. Crazy that it's crazy how much he has loved America and how he had so much respect for the Constitution and for the people in America. People don't realize that he fights for our constitutional rights, while the other ones, they're fighting to pass laws that violate our constitutional rights on a steady. People don't see it. They're so ignorant. They're so distracted by what Hunter is doing over here. Oh, he accidentally went to the Senate. But don't don't look over here what we're doing when we're passing these bills and putting this in there and putting that in there. And this one's 1,400 pages long and this one's 1,800 pages long. We know you ain't going to read it. Really crazy, man. Actor Kirk Douglas. This is Michael Douglas's daddy. And Charlie Sheen's, if I'm not mistaken. Kirk Douglas. Dear Donald, being with you, things happen often and fast. I enjoyed it. And I really thank you for your hospitality and your wonderful cooperation. You and your wife are delightful people. I look forward to seeing you again. By the way, my son Michael won the Golden Globe Award for Best Performance in Wall Street. He is now on his way to Tokyo. Maybe one of these days soon, we'll all get together for an evening. Thanks again. All my best, Kirk. And this was written January 26, 1988. That's pretty cool. Kirk was a true Hollywood movie star and a good friend. He loved his family very much, including Michael, whom I'm not thinking of the right person, Kirk Douglas. I'm thinking of Michael Douglas's father. I was thinking of Martin Sheen. My bad. Yep, I was wrong. Martin Sheen is Emilio Estevez's dad and Charlie Sheen's dad. Okay. Michael, whom he respected greatly as an actor and loved as a son. He had a rugged and distinguished look. There are very few male stars like him, a true legend. Man, he participated in over 80 films, including Paths of Glory in 1957 and Spartacus in 1960. Leona Helmsley. Oh. All right. Leona Helmsley was an icon in New York City. I was one of the only individuals who stood by Leona during her legal battles. She appreciated loyalty. I thought people were disloyal in New York real estate. Little did I know how much worse it was in Washington, D.C. Perhaps one of the only bipartisan traits is disloyalty. Ooh. She wrote to me saying, Dear Donald, so many friends and acquaintances fade into the shadows during difficult times, but the sincere ones are always there to lend their support. Thank you for being amongst the latter. All my very best to you, Leona. That was deep. That was deep. So Leona Helmsley was a New York estate tycoon, real estate tycoon, whose many projects included the Helmsley Building and the Empire State Building. Henry Kissinger. Little Henry. He looks like that guy from Up. You know, that movie Up on Disney? Yeah, that's what he looks like. So, Henry Kissinger. Here we go. Dear Don, this was June 22nd, 1988. Dear Don, many thanks for your extraordinary courtesies in Atlantic City. I enjoyed the chance to talk with you. Warm regards, Henry A. Kissinger. Donald Trump writes, Henry Kissinger was probably very disloyal to Richard Nixon, but we'll never know exactly what happened. He was smart like a fox, cunning as could be, and he had friends on every side of the equation, but you never really understood or knew where he was coming from. One thing I'll say for sure for Henry Kissinger, everybody respected him whether they liked him or not. As good as he was, as intelligent as he was, I don't know whether I'd like to have him in the foxhole with me. So he served as Secretary of State and National Security Advisor under President Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford. Yep. The terrible thing about the 2016 president, the presidential, how his administration from 2016 to 2020, I think so many people got in that shouldn't have been in that foxhole with him. You know what I mean? Like Mike Pence. I think Mike Pence was like a claw machine, boop, and dropped in there. I think he was placed in there to do what he had to do. Okay, so again, Mario Cuomo writes him a letter, and that was the governor of New York. If you remember that he says I did all these favors for him for the Buffalo Stadium and everything. And then I asked him for one favor and he was like, okay. So, dear Donald, thank you for lending your support to the new race relations campaign of the United States state of New York. The United State of New York. Your attendance at the kickoff press conference on July 14th will illustrate that the leadership of New York State is dedicated to improving racial harmony. How racist of him. The United State of New York is a statewide, multifaceted race relations awareness and educational campaign. The campaign will begin with the distribution of advertising materials for television, radio, and newspaper. The public awareness effort will be augmented by a series of programs designed to foster racial harmony. This is a statewide effort will include the creation of a new crisis prevention unit and a toll-free telephone hotline. By calling the hotline, New Yorkers will reach trained volunteers who will put callers in contact with officials of the State Division of Human Rights to obtain guidance and materials for development of community awareness campaigns or to get assistance in diffusing local racial tensions. I look forward to seeing you at the press conference at 1 p.m. on the 57th floor of the Second World Trade Center, of World Trade Center 2, by the way. Thank you for joining with me and the leaders from the industry, labor, and entertainment field, sports, civic, and religious communities to support the direct statewide race relations effort. So you called him a racist, but look at the shit he was doing. That's insane. That was July 8th, 1988, by the way. Oh, President George H.W. Bush. Not a fan. I'm not a fan of him. Sorry, not sorry. October 5th, 1988. Mr. Donald Trump of the Trump Organization. Dear Donald, you have Barbara's and my deepest appreciation for the significant contribution that you've recently made to join Team 100. What's that? Your very generous support will ensure that our GOP candidates are well funded in the final weeks before Election Day. Words cannot express our gratitude and our sincere thanks for all you have done. With friends like you, I know that we will win. Well, with friends like you people, who needs enemies? That's what this should. I can't wait till we get into the two-facedness. I've always felt that George Bush, the elder, could have pushed the envelope a bit farther and a bit stronger. The Bush family and I didn't get along well, to put it mildly. They seem to be a much different type. I helped George H.W. Bush with his campaign and did a really good job for him. It was never appreciated, unfortunately. That's all right. And that's all right, he said. I learned much when he made his famous statement, "Read my lips, no new taxes." Then almost immediately raised taxes. That didn't work out well. Those are called political promises, my friends. They tell you everything and anything you want to hear on the campaign trail, but then, you know what happens. Look what happened with 8 years of Obama. Almost as bad, it was when he kept talking about 1,000 points of light and nobody really knew what the hell he was talking about. What did it all mean? So if you guys don't know, George H.W. Bush was the 41st president of the United States from 89 to 93. He previously served as vice president under Ronald Reagan. Desert Storm happened under George H.W. Bush. Right? Was it H.W. or was it Clinton? I think it was H.W. when our troops went to Desert Storm. And Kosovo. I'm not sure who did Kosovo. Oh, Barbara Bush. July 28th, 1988. Well, where were you on July 29th? Dear Don, thank you for your very generous contribution and for becoming a trustee of the Presidential Trust. The funds you have provided will directly assist the campaign and will help ensure that we have the maximum resources to win in November. I know that with your help and dedication, I will be the next president of the United States. Barbara and I will always remember that all you have done on our behalf. You have our deepest gratitude, and we look forward to thanking you personally very soon. Oh, that was HW. Well, we're going to personally thank you very soon. All right. Now this is from Barbara Bush. Dear Donald, just a note as I was leaving the house this morning and I heard you being attacked by Phil Donahue. You were wonderful. Barbara Bush. I heard you were being attacked by Phil Donahue. 19 that's what it's. Oh, he just translated it. I got to read it though. She's got pretty nice handwriting, I'm not gonna lie. First Lady Barbara Bush was a very nice lady, even though she did not like me very much. She thought I was very mean to her sons, but really they were mean to me because of their lack of support no matter what I did, and that was okay. I gave up on them a long ago. The elder was a good man, but wasn't there for me. So basically, is basically saying how he was there for HW, but HW would never return the favor. Remember, he says that we look forward to. It's crazy because he says it right here. We will directly assist. We look forward to thanking you personally very soon. Like scratch my back, I scratch yours type thing. Nope, that didn't happen. Okay, so J.W. Marriott is the executive chairman of Marriott International. Here is the Don holding a replica or scale model of the Marriott. September 27th, 1988. Dear Don, it was a real pleasure meeting you in Atlantic City on Saturday. Congratulations on sponsoring such a fine event in the offshore powerboat circuit. I thought everything went off extremely well. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed meeting you, and I have admired what you have done and the way you have built your business. You have gone first class and have done it right. Congratulations to you. I hope we can see more of each other in the future. Best personal regards, Bill, aka JW Marriott Jr. Well, they hold him to such high regards, you guys. And Jackie Mason. Jackie Mason was a groundbreaking Jewish comedian known best for his unique delivery and contributions to stage and screen. Jackie Mason was redefined the genre of comedy. Here he just writes this. October 9th, 89. Dear Donald, you're a real manush. Oh, love and kisses, Jackie Nelson. You're a real dick. Maybe that's what it means. I don't know what manish means. No clue. Whoever speaks Hebrew, let me know. James Baker. He served as the 67th U.S. Secretary of Treasury from 85 to 88. And he was the 61st USA Secretary of State from 89 to 92. Why do they all look like this? They're all old. I think we need term limits. The president can only have 2 terms, right? You can only serve as president for up to 8 years. Tell me why. Why can't our Senate and our Congress and our Supreme Court be the same? I understand that Supreme Court is like till the day you die, literally. But like, I think we need to introduce term limits. Anyways, so November 30th, 1988, James Baker III wrote, Dear Donald, many thanks for your recent letter about the campaign and my nomination as Secretary of State. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you taking time to write. We've got a big job ahead of us, but frankly, it's a challenge to which I'm looking forward. With warm personal regards, sincerely, Jim. He really didn't say anything about this. Oh, well, here's Matilda Cuomo. She was the First Lady of New York during her husband Mario's tenure as governor. Dear Donald, the second annual New York, Italy Medical Synopsis was an overwhelming success thanks to your generous support and assistance. The synopsis of preventive medicine and health service research provided a valuable forum for leading physicians from Italy and America to share their expertise and network together. As a participant in the 4-day proceedings, it was clear to me how important it is for medical researchers involved in treating AIDS and cancer to have such an opportunity to collaborate on an international scale. We appreciate far-reaching ramifications as a result of these exchanges, and plans are already underway to organize a third annual synopsum in Italy. The conference, which was funded entirely by private contributions, could not have been taken place without your personal support. We are grateful for your efforts, which are a benefit to the well-being of all of us. Everyone agreed that everything from the accommodations to the gracious dining and the synopsum itself, it was a truly job well done. For all of that, we thank you very much. Kindest regards, Matilda Cuomo. And there was like, they highlighted this, like there's certain parts in here. Throughout my life, I have supported countless charitable causes. I always believed in giving back. And I love that he says this here, because most people don't realize that President Trump donated his entire presidential salary to charity. He donated to ending human trafficking. He also donated to veterans. So crazy. Oh, Tommy Lasorda. We got Tommy Lasorda next. All right. It says here, Tommy Lasorda is an MLB Hall of Famer, Hall of Fame inductee, who then managed the Los Angeles Dodgers from 76 to 96. Dear Donald, this was February 18th, 1990. Dear Donald, I want to express my sincere thanks for the wonderful hospitality that you extended me during my visit with you. I really enjoyed spending time with you, and you did so much to make my visit a most memorable one. I hope 1990 will be a healthy and successful year for you. When we come to New York to play the Mets, I would be honored if we could have lunch together. It would be great. May God bless you, your friend, Tom Lasorda. Tommy Lasorda would always say that he bled blue, with blue representing the Los Angeles Dodgers. He had a great spirit and an incredible character, and very good for baseball. Good. Here's more from Nixon, too. Like, I am not a crook. Dear Donald, I know about the intrinsities of your business enterprises, but the massive media attack on you puts me in your corner. My unsophisticated opinion is that your cash crunch is due in large part to the softness of the economy. Whatever the reason, I am confident that you will overcome your present difficulties. With warm regards, Richard Nixon. So, I mean, attack. That's all. It's crazy, man. Oh, Barbara Wawa. So Barbara Wawa, Barbara Walters, she was on The View. I think The View went after Barbara Wawa died. Okay. Barbara Walters was a broadcast journalist who hosted a number of television programs, including Today and The View. Dear Donald, I am dictating this from California for a very special reason. This was written June 14th, 1990. Today, June 14th, is my daughter's birthday. I understand it is yours as well. Needless to say, she is very special in my life, and it makes me realize that our relationship, yours and mine, was also very special. As you know, I am very fond of Ivana, and a good woman to have a tendency to support, and good women have a tendency to support each other. But I remember all the years when you and I had a trust and a friendship that was very much our own. And since this may be a time when a fellow needs a friend, I wanted you to know that my feelings for you remain the same. I wish you a very happy birthday. With the troubles you are facing now, I am sure you will triumph over, and you will be made even stronger in the process. The best is yet to come. As ever, Barbara. Barbara Walters was the biggest of them all in what she did. No woman has ever come close other than Oprah She was a different kind of television persona. Barbara interviewed me many times over the years, including 3 times for Most Fascinating People of the Year, a great honor. Barbara's life was all about her work. It was obsessive, not in a bad way, but different from almost anyone I've known. She had men she loved dearly, but they could never take the place of her work. I would see her not show up to important events for her husbands or beloved boyfriends because she was doing an important story or breaking news. She even told me it was a problem, but it's just the way life is. I remember one interview where she got there 3 hours early to make sure her lighting, hair, makeup was almost everything was perfect. When I came in, she started yelling for me to sit down. I said, Barbara, you've been doing this for 3 hours. Can I at least look at a monitor? She said, no, you look fine. And there's a beautiful picture of him with Barbara and Melania together. My God, Melania is a gorgeous woman, don't you guys think? The king of pop, Elizabeth Taylor. I mean, Michael Jackson. This, I don't know when this was written because it's not really on here. So, this is him saying, this is him talking about Michael Jackson. And he does have a little note, a little excerpt of a note that he must have gotten from Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was one of a kind, an extraordinary talent, and very interesting person. He lived in Trump Tower for a period of time and would often play video games with Don and Eric. Did he give them any Jesus juice? I'm just wondering. He once built a Trump Tower out of Legos with them. I reached out to Michael at one point when he was recovering from being sick, and he wrote back, Dear Donald, with your prayers and blessings as my shield, I am quickly advancing towards complete recovery. I fully expect to resume work in the near future and continue sharing the fruits of my labor with loyal friends such as you, Michael. Michael was a great guy who loved his country. It says Michael Jackson was an American singer-songwriter known as the King of Pop. He won countless of music awards. Probably can't even. Lee Atwater is next. Lee Atwater. October 5th, 1990. Dear Donald, thanks for your recent note. It means a lot to know you're out there rooting for me. I am lucky to have an army of friends like you battling this enemy with me. Take care. Your pal. Lee Atwater is one of the great political operatives of all time. He was way ahead of the pack. There wasn't anyone like him. He was constantly on the phone. You would never meet him when he wasn't on any old type of cell phone. Lee did a fantastic job for whomever he represented. Harvey Lee Roy. Lee Atwater was an American political consultant and strategist for the Republican Party. He was an advisor to U.S. President Ronald Reagan and George H.W. Bush and the chairman of the Republican National Committee. I think Ronald McDonald needs to, get rid of her. Reverend Billy Graham. Holy cannolis. He's probably notably one of the most, famous reverends and probably one of the best human beings on the planet. If anybody was going to guarantee to get into heaven, it would be Billy Graham. Okay, wow. He wrote him a really long letter. September 19th, 1991. Dear Donald, it was a pleasure to meet you and Marla Maples at the small dinner party that Mrs. DeMoss gave at one of her homes. Must be nice. We're having it at my 7th home over there, My God. For a long time, I have wanted to meet you and get to know you. I've read your books, and I'm absolutely amazed at your career. You could probably give me a great deal of good advice, as I am chairman of the board of several religious organizations. Be assured I will never ask you for donations or money. I told Ross Perot that many years ago, and it was established that our friendship was on a much firmer basis. I made it a point to never ask individuals for money to support various Christian enterprises which I'm involved. However, I do appreciate your invitation for my wife and me to stay at the plaza while I'm here. I explained to you that my lifelong association with the Marriott family Many years ago, J.W. Marriott Sr. gave me a 5-star credit to be used at all of their hotels. Incidentally, even though he was a Mormon, I preached his funeral at the Mormon Temple in Washington several years ago. You will find that I have a very broad and tolerant mind towards people of other beliefs, though I am most certain only personal faith in Christ can bring the peace and joy and fill the vacuum in so many people's lives. I hope to get to know you all the better and wish you all the happiness in the world. With warmest personal greetings, I am most cordially yours, Billy. That's crazy, man. He's amazing. Billy Graham was one of a kind. He was a man of character and conviction, something we will probably never see again, in the sense of what he represented and whom he represented. My father considered him one of the greatest evangelists. I vividly remember going to Yankee Stadium many years ago with my father and family to watch a Billy Graham crusade. It was absolutely incredible. The place was packed. Everybody waited breathlessly for the next word to be spoken. He was a powerful orator, the greatest guy in his truest sense, and he never got caught up in scandal. He did a wonderful job raising his family. He truly adored his wife, who, when I spent time with him, even close to him being 100 years old, he still had that spark like few others. Billy Graham was amazing, will always be remembered as probably the greatest of all time what he did, telling others about God. That's amazing. Billy Graham was an internationally renowned Christian evangelist known for his oratory abilities, his gift of gab. All right, what is this now? Oh, it's Bob Dickens, the mayor of D.C. I'm guessing. Oh no, New York City. I'm sorry, David. I said Dickens. Dinkins. Dear Donald, please excuse my somewhat delayed response to your very nice note of November 5th, commensurating with me after the election. Such kindness and consideration as you showed helped ease the pain of defeat. I am confident that historians will recognize what my administration was able to accomplish under difficult circumstances, but until their verdict is in, I remain content that I did my very best. And speaking of the very best, Joyce and I extend to you, Marla, and our very best wishes for a long and loving marriage. Congratulations, and see you at the nuptialation. That was December 16th, 93. He said he was the mayor of New York City from 90 to 93. Uh-oh. David Rockefeller. Let's see what this got to say. This should be interesting. June 28th, 1994. Oh, for those of you who don't know, he was the vice chairman and CEO of Chase Manhattan Bank from 1969 to 1981. Probably one of the richest men in the world. Dear Donald, thanks so much for your thoughtful note about the dinner at the Emperor and Empress of Japan. Yeah, he's on some like Emperor, Empress type shit. That's the level that Rockefeller is on. My God. Thanks so much for your thoughtful note about the dinner for the Emperor and Empress of Japan at the Metropolitan Museum. The Met. I think it was unquestionably a great success and that they thoroughly enjoyed it. I appreciate very much for your kind comments about my talk. Being able to see something of the museum between the reception and the dinner also made it special for their majesties. My God, I feel like such a peasant right now. Where was I at here? There was no doubt in my mind, therefore, that the Metropolitan was the right place for the dinner to be held. This would have made a very difficult, however, this would have been made very difficult. However, had it not been for your friendly gesture in canceling the contract the Japan consulate had made with the Plaza Hotel, let me say again how deeply I appreciate the prompt and gracious way you agreed to this. All good wishes. Sincerely, David Rockefeller. I knew and liked David Rockefeller very well. He was very he's a patriarchian in the most complimentary sense of the word. He inherited he inherited at the time a great fortune and kept it going with style and dignity. A very respectful banker. I thought it was going to be some dirt on him, but dang it. That should probably get you killed. Oh, King Charles the Third. King Charles. What a nice picture. Look at this. Look at the whole Trump family here. Look at that. What beauty. Lara Trump, Tiffany, the stepmom, the evil stepmom. That's like Camilla, I think her name is. Beautiful Melania. Don't like him. I think Diana, she's like the bootleg Walmart version of Diana, Princess of Wales. Yeah. Donald, we got Don Jr., Ivanka, and we got Eric Trump. Oops, sorry, this is a big book. Dear Mr. Trump, this was the 19th of January, 1995. Dear Mr. Trump, it was very kind of you to write as you did before Christmas and offer to me honorary membership of the Mar-a-Lago Club. I am most touched and grateful for such a generous gesture. I am only sorry it has taken me until now to write you. I fear I was overwhelmed by Christmas avalanche of papers and cards and letters. Your club sounds very splendid. I do hope it proves to be a great success. Perhaps one day I shall get to see it. Meanwhile, under your encouragement, I shall endeavor to keep up the multitude of things I am trying to do. Incidentally, on your next trip to London, you might be interested to visit my Institute of Architecture at Regent Parks to see the work that's going on there with the students and others who are involved in various projects. We need all the help we can get. Cha-ching, cha-ching. With best wishes for 1995. I guess the I don't know who that says. The Prince of Wales. That's what he sounded. The Prince of Wales. President Donald J. Trump says King Charles III. Is he a fucking king now? Oh my God. Since the Queen died? I got to know the former Prince Charles, now King Charles III, very well during my presidency. He is elegant and a great guy who truly loved his mother and equally loves and respects Queen Consort Camilla. I don't like her. We spoke for long periods of time, but it didn't take long to realize that his thirst for saving the environment is all consuming. You know, how come the ones that talk about climate crisis the most, like, you know, John Kerry, Al Gore, one trip with their private jet makes more emissions, more CO2 emissions than you or I will in our entire lifetime. Make that make sense. But they're flying in private jets all over the world every day. And I'm talking one day. One day they make more emissions for the environment, ruining. Make me sick. John Kerry, he even owns a private jet and then lied about it. Scumbag. So here is Don and Don Jr. talking with, I guess now the king. I don't keep up with UK stuff, so I don't know. Melania looks absolutely gorgeous. Look at her. My God. Absolutely beautiful. Jack Welch. Neutron Jack Welch is next. September 9th, 1996. Look at this. Look at Ivanka in the background. Do you guys remember when Bill Clinton was caught looking at Ivanka? Like Hillary was like, and Bill was like, So gross. Ew, Bill Clinton is so gross. Okay, so Jack Welch was a CEO of General Electric between 1981 and 2001. Mr. Jack Welch writes, no, he wrote to Jack Welch. Dear Jack, per the request of Sandy Warner, I am pleased to include a check in your honor for $5,000 for the British American Chamber of Congress. Although I will be in Europe the week of the dinner at the Pierre, I wanted to congratulate you on being chosen to receive the prestigious Transatlantic Business Award and let you know that no one is more deserving of the recognition than you. With best wishes for a wonderful evening. Sincerely, Donald J. Trump. Donald, thank you and congratulations on the, what does it say? Oh, on your tower success. What a performance, Jack. Oh, so he kind of like wrote a little excerpt on there thanking him. Neutron Jack Welch, as he was called, ended his career as one of the 2 or 3 greatest corporate executives in the history of our country. Unfortunately, after he left General Electric, the company he ran, it suffered massive financial difficulty that they're still trying to get out of. The management team blamed Jack, and even though he was gone for a long time in any event, yeah, he was so great for so long. That's kind of like doing what they do to him. Like, if all else fails, blame Trump. The lady herself, Princess Diana, wrote him a letter. I'm guessing this is probably right before they had her killed. I'm just saying. Dear Donald, I wanted to personally thank you so very much for the beautiful flowers you sent me for my birthday. They are truly magnificent, and I'm deeply touched that you have thought of me in this special way. With my very kindest regards and warmest good wishes, yours sincerely, Diana. Princess Diana was like no other. I'll tell you what, man, that queen despised her because Charles married a commoner, right? She wasn't anything like, she didn't descend from royalty or anything. She was just typical commoner, right? So the queen was always so uppity about her, I think, man. Anyways, Diana was a vivacious, intelligent, compassionate, and very beautiful. She had a captivating it factor, but it led to a very complicated life with the royal family. No one could have been prepared for what would come her way in Paris, in a tunnel, in a Rolls Royce or a Mercedes. I think she was in a Mercedes, if I'm not mistaken. Princess Diana was the first wife of Prince Charles, the mother of Princes Williams and Harry. Princess Diana was an international icon who supported countless of great causes and charities. That lady was all about the children. Oh, this is sad. John F. Kennedy Jr., I remember when he was killed in the plane accident. Dear Donald, many thanks for joining us the other day at George's office on Discourse on Politics. New York men and women, our staff thoroughly enjoyed your remarks, and I trust you found the questions thought-provoking. You're most generous to make the time. Thanks again, John Kennedy. John F. Kennedy Jr., for some reason, unbeknownst to anybody, including me, I had a very good relationship with John Kennedy Jr. He liked me, and I liked him. Even though we were different in many ways, we saw each other a lot. We talked a lot, and he put me on the cover of his magazine, George. Great pressure was placed on him to go into politics by his mother. First choice was to be a movie actor, and he thought it would be great because he was truly one of the best-looking people you'd ever see, male or female. He was also a nice guy. He had an interesting relationship with Carolyn. They were desperately in love, but would scream at each other all day, but whatever, it worked. They were a very hot and attractive couple. I saw him just prior to the crash. It was a very sad day in my life because he was an unbelievable guy. He would have almost absolutely become the senator from New York, probably president of the United States someday. JFK Jr. was a lawyer, a magazine publisher, and a son of the former president, John F. Kennedy. Oh, here we go. The best is here. Let's see. how she felt about Donald. I think like the most knives in Donald Trump's back are from people like this. August 1st, 1997, Donald. There's nothing like being treated like a queen by a man who knows how to be a king. Thank you for the royal treatment we received from you. Alexander the Great wished he had a room like that. It was fun experiencing Tina with you too. Continued blessings, Oprah. Oprah Winfrey is a global media figure and businesswoman known best for her daytime talk show, The Oprah Winfrey Show, which ran for 25 years. Oprah was a friend of mine who would visit Mar-a-Lago, which she loved. Especially enjoyed the turkey burger with the key lime pie. She chose Mar-a-Lago as a site for for the funeral of great friend and mentor Roger King of King World. It was the first and only time we've ever done a funeral, and it was amazing, and so was she. Sadly, once I announced for president, she never spoke to me again. Now she called him a racist. She slams Trump every chance she gets. This letter here, I'm going to show you guys. Here's the letter. It's written in Oprah's handwriting, but this is the letter. Nothing like being treated like a queen by a king, by a man who knows how to be a king. Thank you for the royal treatment we received from you. Basically saying Alexander the Great would be jealous of how good you treated me and the room you gave me. And you even took your home and Mar-a-Lago and you literally transformed it so that we can send my friend off with a good funeral. Sadly, once I announced for president, she never spoke to me again. George W. Do you guys remember the video of the guy that threw the shoes at him? I do. Okay, July 31st, 1997. Dear Donald, thank you very much for your letter and your invitation to attend the Miss Teen USA pageant in South Padre. Unfortunately, Laura and I are booked that day and will not be able to attend. I appreciate very much you taking your time to invite me and my family to attend. I also appreciate you holding the pageant in South Texas. Respectfully yours, George W. Bush. President George W. Bush, W is what he called himself, got us into the Middle East quicksand. After 21 years, millions of people dead, trillions of dollars spent, the Middle East totally obliterated, we got out. And it was a bad decision by him and probably a decision that was forced by Dick Cheney, a disastrous vice president. In any event, I wish them all well. Lots of luck. This is going to be sad. Rudy Giuliani. I don't know if you guys are following what just happened, that he's getting sued for $145 million, that the courts awarded these women a settlement because Rudy Giuliani said that this is what they were doing. They were caught on camera doing this. And it was in Georgia, part of the election. They were literally caught on camera doing this. And he was just explaining what these women were doing on camera. Very sad what they're doing to Rudy Giuliani. October 97. Dear friends, on behalf of all New Yorkers, I am pleased to extend my very best wishes to you and your family for a new year. 5758, filled with good health, much happiness, and success of all your endeavors. The Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur serve to mark very important milestones for the Jewish community. Over the past past year, we celebrated the 30th anniversary of Israel's triumphant victory in the Six-Day War and witnessed the opening of a long-awaited museum of Jewish heritage, a living memorial to the Holocaust at Battery Park in Lower Manhattan. In the coming months, we will be saluting Israel's remarkable accomplishments over the first half-century of its statehood. I am proud to serve as the honorary chairman of New York City's official host committee for the year-long celebration of Israel's 50th birthday. For the Jewish community in the entire city, that year had been one of good fortune and progress. As we look to the coming year, may we be encouraged by all that we have accomplished thus far and steadfast in our efforts to strengthen the bonds of friendship throughout our city. Donna joins me in expressing our warmest greetings for a joyous and wonderful high holy day season of special blessings, along with our hopes for peace and prosperity throughout the coming year. Signed, sincerely, Rudolph Giuliani. Rudy was right about so many things that wasn't given credit for. Importantly, he was the greatest mayor in the history of New York City, and he didn't even need to get involved with Russia, Ukraine, and all the rest of it. But he did. And the time will prove that many of the things he had said were scoffed at were 100% correct. He talked about Hunter Biden and the corruption long before anyone else did. People purposely refused to listen, but they should have. As it turned out, Rudy was proven right by the laptop from hell on almost everything. I believe in the end of the last few years, it will prove even more impactful to his legacy than being that of a great mayor. It's really sad, man. It's really sad what they're doing to him. Oh, Jeb Bush. Dear Donald, I had a call from a very ecstatic Jeb Bush telling me the successful fundraiser held at your New York home. This took me back several years to a similar event, which I was the beneficiary. Just want to say thank you for this big boast for our son. We love Jeb very much. We feel he is properly motivated and that he will make great governor for Florida, that you have helped him so generously by hosting that fundraiser, which means a lot for both Barbara and me. Many thanks, George H.W. Bush. The Bush family didn't take too kindly when I ran against Jeb, but it was competition. Jeb was expected by almost everybody to win the Republican primary, and after about 2 weeks, it was over for him. So immediately, the Bush family didn't feel so great about Donald Trump. You kind of know what you see when they start turning their backs on him. That's insane. Alec Baldwin. Pew, pew. Alec. So in 1998, January 21st to be exact, Dear Donald, for a tough guy in a tough business, you are a sweet and generous man. I can never thank you sufficiently for the use of your incredible penthouse. You comped us. You're a gentleman. All the best, Alec. The young Alec Baldwin wanted to portray my life story in a movie. Every time I saw him, he would say it again and again. I want to play your life story. Little did I realize he was a bad seed that would play in my life as much and in a much different way with much less ability than he would have as an actor versus a comedian on Saturday Night Live. I never liked the anger, the tone, or anything about Alec's performance, but I had to live with it for years. It's one of those stories where we start out good but ended bad. With time, I believe Alec became a psycho, a very sick puppy. It's very hard to believe his story that he thought the gun was unloaded. It's hard to believe his story. That is very hard. In any event, I wish him well, but I like the young Alec Baldwin. There's nothing good about what the clock has done to him. So in 2023, Alec Baldwin was charged with involuntary manslaughter due to the fatal shooting of Helena Hutchins. And whatever happened to that? If you or I would have done that, guess where we'd be right now? We'd be in prison for the next 25 to life. I'm just saying. Oh. Prince Albert. I have known Prince Albert for a long time. He says he's a really good guy whose mother, not that I would ever talk to about beauty, is one of the greatest beauties of all time, Grace Kelly. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. This is Prince Albert of Monaco. I am thinking of somebody else. Dear Donald, it would be a great honor for Monaco to host the Miss Universe pageant and our sporting I don't know what that is, data in the year 1990 and 2000. I would like to extend my official support for the project, and I believe international competition television program will be well received and perfectly placed in Monaco. My friend Elizabeth Gonzi mentioned in your meeting an Aspen and potential interest in discussing Monaco as a new venue for the competition. In the meantime, perhaps Ms. Gonzi should meet with someone in your organization to collect all the necessary details required on Monaco and the venue to host the competition. With my regards, I send you all the good wishes for much success of the year of this the Miss Universe competition. Sincerely, Albert of Monaco. I guess that's what that says. It's crazy. Oh, he got something from Dale Earnhardt, you guys. This was he was a NASCAR driver and he got killed February 20th, 1998. So he's writing about Mar-a-Lago. Mr. Trump, thank you for your enthusiastic support this past weekend at the Daytona 500. Teresa and I enjoyed meeting you. Sometime when we're back in Palm Beach relaxing, let's visit again. It's hard to socialize at the track. Kindest regards, Dale Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt was one of the greatest race car drivers of all time. I met him. I liked him a lot. And then I met him again before his fatal car accident. He was a really big Trump fan, and so was his son, Dale Jr. He was also a wonderful, great guy and a wonderful guy and a great driver also. Man, that's sad. Dale Earnhardt is considered one of the greatest NASCAR drivers of all time who tragically died in a 2001 race. I'll never forget watching that. Guess who's coming next? Muhammad Al-Fayed and Rosie O'Donnell. Ooh, this should be great. Okay. Muhammad Al-Fayed, a successful business tycoon and the former owner of Harrods department store. Harrods is in London, I guess, and they have like tigers and lions and all kinds of shit. It's very expensive. Okay, Muhammad Al-Fayed is a true gentleman with great taste. I invited him to be a judge on my Miss Universe pageant, but it was too soon after the tragic death of his son, Princess Diana. Their death was a real tragedy. He wrote to me, Dear Donald, I was flattered to receive your kind information to serve on the panel of judges for you for this year's Miss Universe pageant in Trinidad and Tobago. A dream event and a dream location. I am, of course, eminently qualified for such a role. Sadly, I do not feel the time is right for me to participate in such a high-profile event. I'm sure you will understand that currently my mind is very much occupied with the ongoing injury into the tragic death of my son. Into the tragic death of my son. He loved his son Dodie very much. That's sad, man. Okay, Rosie O'Donnell, here we go. Rosie O'Donnell is an actress and television personality best known for hosting the Rosie O'Donnell Show from 1996 to 2002. I did Rosie O'Donnell's show before the hatred began, Donald writes, but for some reason she just flipped. Just politics. Rosie used to love things all Trump, love having me on my show. In fact, she once wrote me a note. Dear Donald, the show was great. You were perfect. Hope you had fun, Rosie. Rosie somehow became a big topic when I ran for president, especially during the first debate. The debate was incredible. Megyn Kelly, moderating for Fox News, started off with a riff of negative statements I made, much of it scripted. This was the first question I ever had in an official debate, and it was a beauty. So Megyn Kelly famously was like, you called women pigs or dogs or something. And he goes, no, only Rosie O'Donnell. I responded with, Only Rosie O'Donnell, and the place went crazy. I never heard the rest of the question over the screaming, which only got worse. With all the debating I did, with all the debates I won, which I think was all of them, it was probably the second toughest question I had. Could you name the first? This is getting so good. Schumer. March 9th in 1999, Chuck Schumer writes, Dear Donald, just want to say a special thank you for extending your beautiful home to Iris and me for the fundraiser last week. It was a great event with a lot of energy and enthusiasm in the room. I'm grateful for your efforts on behalf and look forward to getting together again. As always, please don't hesitate to call on me and share any ideas or thoughts you may have. With warmest thanks and my best to you and your family for a happy Easter. Sincerely, Chuck. Who would believe that Chuck Schumer would be writing me a letter? But when I was in the private sector, I got along with politicians. I got along with Chuck very well. Legend has it. And I'm sure it's true, and Chuck is also, but he doesn't admit it as freely as he used to, that I gave him his first campaign contribution. Sitting in my office in Brooklyn with him as a young man running for the state assembly. Though politics has slightly strained our relationship, he is tough and smart. He ran, he won. It was very graceful. However, today, I would think he doesn't like talking about it. That's pretty funny. King Abdullah. Next. This is an Arab leader. I love how he was so like all around the world. He was a socialite as well as being a celebrity. You know, he knew everybody. He brushed shoulders with the richest of the rich and royalty. It was pretty neat, man. He has lived a very great life. And this is the king writing him, my dear friend. See, man, that's crazy. I would like to extend to you a deep appreciation for your kind letter and the warmest sentiments, both expressed both towards myself and my father, the late King Hussein the First. May God rest his soul in peace. I would also like to convey to you that following in my father's steps, Jordan will continue to play an invaluable role in promoting peace and understanding among nations. The legacy of courage, wisdom, and achievement left behind my late father will be the beacon that guides us in our quest for peace and stability, not only for Jordan, but for the whole world. With renewed thanks, best wishes, and warmest personal regards, yours truly. Unlike many countries in the Middle East, Jordan is not rich from oil. But King Abdullah II worked with other countries, in particular the United States, on taking care of people without a home or country. And he really does a good job of it. That's crazy, see? Willie Brown. Oh. Now, if you don't know who Willie Brown is how Kamala Harris got her start in politics. She worked for him under the table. And I don't mean not paying taxes either. Get what I mean? Okay. Mayor of San Francisco from 96 to 2004. So he writes Donald Trump a letter in 2000, January 31st. Dear Donald, let's make a deal. I'll call you when I'm I'm next in New York, and you be sure to give me a call when you are in San Francisco next. Thank you for the good wishes, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Sincerely, Willie. I knew Willie Brown a long time ago. He was a hot politician and a great way. We actually had an emergency landing in a helicopter together. A little scary for both of us, but thankfully we made it. His time with Kamala, in retrospect, turned out to be very interesting, but only he can tell that story. It's crazy. He's drinking a Budweiser, Willie Brown is, and he's got a Pepsi, which Donald Trump drinks Diet Coke. Remember when we had the White House where the only Coke in the White House was Diet Coke? I don't know what happened there. All right. We're doing, oh, there's more Oprah. There's more Oprah. And then Chris Rangel was a U.S. congressman. Here we go. Dear Donald, if you accept the Gore offer for vice president, don't forget about me for Secretary of State. You gave them one hell of a ride, as only Donald Trump could do. Sincerely, Charlie. It's crazy. Oh, here's Oprah. January 11th, 2000. Remember, he says when he announced that he was running for president, he never heard from her again. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a lot of things on Oprah in this book. Donald, I received the book excerpt. I have to tell you, your comments made me a little weepy. It's one thing to try and live a life of integrity. Still another to have people like yourself notice. Thank you, Oprah. Too bad we're not running for office. What a team, she says. Can you imagine? Paul Anka. No shit. My family loved Paul Anka, of course. Like, dear Donald, you have now been immortalized among the chosen few. You've been Ankanized. When you're laying in bed making love to one of your heavenly side dishes, you can play the enclosed. Results guaranteed. On a serious note, this is for my boy. Enjoy. Warmest regards, Paul Anka. Paul Anka performed at many places, many times. He was a great entertainer.
Mom.
What?
Kelly just broke the turtle.
How did she break that? That's epoxy resin.
She broke it with throwing it.
Oh, she threw it, huh?
Yes.
Mm.
It broke.
Okay. So Paul Anka was a legendary singer like Frank Sinatra and Michael Jackson. I want to do a part 2 of this, you guys. This is we'll leave off with Tony Bennett. We all know who Tony Bennett is.
Another one.
Yeah, we'll make another one. Just throw that in the garbage. It's okay. It's nothing. It's really nothing, dude. We'll just make another one. So we read 116 of the notes thus far. The most interesting ones to me are the Oprah ones and the notes that we're seeing and letters that we're seeing of these people who literally talk the most shit about him today. Like, look at the Cuomos, that they acknowledge that he has done so much for racial equality and all of this, that, and the other, right? Yeah, look at the other Cuomos who attack him today. You know what I mean? It's like, it's really crazy. And the Oprahs, you're just like, man. And I can only understand, or I can only... Man, it sucks. It sucks when you have and you're helping people and you're doing for people and you think they're your friend. And then one day, because of politics, they turn their back on you. It's like, it's really sad. It's really sad to see what, he has done, what he has sacrificed. What this man has sacrificed, and he's lost, I don't know how many friendships, how many relationships, simply because he wanted to fix America. People don't realize that. They don't realize how much money he's lost, how much money he's losing right now by this bullshit scam courts, these charges. He's losing so much money. They plan on draining him financially, and they won't stop until they ruin this man and his kids too. It's crazy. It really is. It's crazy that people don't see exactly what he's done and what he has lost. And what he continues to lose today, it's crazy. But he's always out there. He's always out there. That man, he might be old, right? Okay, he might be. But I tell you what, does it look like he's his age? Does he look? Does he? He doesn't act that old. That man is all over the place. He's campaigning everywhere. He never skips a beat, especially when he's doing his speeches. He never ever skips a beat. That man is competent. And I feel like this. It's Trump or bust. It's Trump or we might as well wave the white flag and be like, fuck, there it is. So I want to take some of your guys' comments. How are you guys? Did you we stopped on Tony Bennett. That's where part 2 is going to pick up. So because I'm going to do this in parts. You see, this is how much we got through today. So I'll finish it. We'll do it every Saturday until it's finished. But I'll do a book review, I think, every Saturday. I think that sounds good. The next one I want to do is this one by Vincent Everett Allison. And I absolutely will be reading the 100 promises that were spoken and kept, because I think it's important people to hear, you know. As this year it comes to a close, right? 2024 is probably going to be the most important time of our lives, where we make sure that we get somebody in office that can fix everything that was done to destroy America and Americans alike. This year is so detrimental. It's not even funny. This is going to be like it, you guys. This is going to be it. Hopefully we won't run into too many like obstacles along the way where they're going to be throwing stuff at us left and right, and Lord knows what they're capable of. Pretty scary. If we all donated $10, I figure Trump has at least 90 million voters. If we all donate $10, I've donated a ton of money to Trump, man, a ton. I just donated 75 like a few days ago, and look what came. This is nice. Ooh, and it's made in the USA. This is a beautiful ornament. It's a mega hat. Look at that. And it says, Trump, save America. That's awesome. It's metal. It's a little snapback. Gold on the inside. I wish I can wear that. But this is absolutely gorgeous. It's a gorgeous ornament. And it's going on my tree. I've not given him like a ton of money. Like I donate like 47 here, 75 there. When I want something, I donate, you know. I know it helps him out. And I think it sucks that people are literally just trying to destroy him financially. Like Letitia James ran her whole campaign on getting Trump. The whole, like, how can you say that this is not politically motivated is beyond me. Like, if somebody tells me that the Letitia James case against Donald Trump is not politically motivated, I'm going to just say, look at you and say, you are a retard. You're a retard. That's it. I'm not going to say anything more. I don't have to say anything less. You know what I mean? People are dumb. They're stupid. I think that we should donate $10. Everyone should donate $10, right? $10. Give them $10, every one of us, and see. You know, I think that would be great. I think that we should give him the best. Let's see if we can find that I want to see if I can find that here, right? Let's see. Letitia James. Letitia James campaigns against Trump. Let me see if we can put all the here. I got a 45-second video I can show you guys real quick. Scumbag this woman is, man. She ought to be proud of herself, man. She ought to be real proud of herself. Thank you, Sean. I don't know if you could still get the ornament. I got it from Win Red, but I don't think you can get it anymore because they're probably sold out. It was for if you made a $75 donation to Donald Trump. Let's see this bid.
This together now.
Woo!
And so we've got to stand up to the federal government. We've got to stand up to bullies. We've got to stand up to an administration
That's you,
which
bitch.
is too male, too pale, and too stale.
Too pale, too male, and too stale.
Pale and too stale. Too male, too pale, and too stale. And we will not go away silently. We will not be silent in the face of this oppression. We will not this together now. And so we've got to stand up to the federal government. We've got to stand up to bullies. We've got to stand up to an administration which is too male, too pale, and too stale.
Oh, it played twice. My bad. So I just wanted to show you guys that real quick. too pale, too male, and too stale. So I got more too. So this is 2018. She was campaigning on I'll get Trump if you vote me in. How anybody can say that she is not going after him because of politics.
President of the United States has complained that I'm engaging in some sort of political witch hunt, that I've got some personal vendetta against him, that I campaigned against him. That is not true.
So she said that it's not true that she campaigned against him. Well, Miss Letitia, I think you may have forgotten. We have cameras, and we have lots of them. And you know what?
We've got to get ready to mobilize, and we've got to get ready to agitate and irritate until victory is won, but more importantly, until Trump is defeated. Come on, rise up and resist.
That sound is terrible.
This illegitimate president, I'm going to give you the same level of respect that you gave to President Obama, and that is absolutely no respect at all.
You are a hoe. Yeah.
I shook my haters off.
Uh-oh, look.
I shook my haters off. I shook my haters off. I shook my haters off.
President of the United States has complained.
So she says that wasn't political at all. Nope, not political in the slightest bit. Did y'all see that? Not political at all. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. She says, and this is a personal vendetta against Donald Trump. I'm going to show you the same respect you showed President Obama. None. That's exactly why she's doing this. Why? Who wants to look, man? I voted for that asshat twice. Do I regret it? 1000%. Yes, every day. Every day. Obama, man. That dude's one of the most evilest people on the planet. Don't forget, you guys, I'm going to be streaming. I'm going to go and get Netflix again. I boycotted that shit since Cuties. What I'm going to do, don't tell nobody. I'm going to get it and I'm going to say my kid got it. And I'm like, what happened? I didn't mean to do this. And they're going to give me my $15 back. I think that's what we should do. Fuck it, man. They're weird over there. They're woke and they hate white people and they're just weird. I don't like Netflix. Jerks. Yeah. Look at this.
He's called me venomous.
You
He's
are.
Called me disgraceful.
You
He's
are.
Called me radical.
You are.
He's called me a racist.
You are.
And this is only week 3. None of his behavior.
He's too male. He's too pale, and he's too stale. So he's too pale. What is that? What is that to you? Because I'll tell you what, it sounds to me like you're saying he's too white. You are. You absolutely are. This chick is evil. She's evil.
Which can best be described as performative, will change what's happening in the courtroom. The courtroom, as you know, where we have submitted evidence, and the evidence is clear. And that is, he inflated his statements of financial interests to enrich himself and his family. And nothing will change that. Not the attacks on me or anyone. At the end of the day, we are here to seek justice, and we will seek justice.
Did you hear what she said? She's like, we're going to change we're basically going to change the rules of the courts. You're going to say, screw your constitutional rights. And because we have been politicized and weaponized, we will get you if you are an opponent. And all these morons here, thank you. Well said. Much respect for all you do. Take care of yourself and stay safe. Here's what I'm going to say. Here's quotes. Donald Trump is, hold on, too male, too pale, and too stale. Yeah, I'd say Trump is right. Oh, well, what are they going to do? What are they going to do to me? Well, he called me a racist. Boo. Well, I'm saying he's too white. Well, if Donald Trump, could you imagine what would happen if Donald Trump said she's too dark? The world would be set ablaze. My God, man, I can't stand to look at her, and I'm not giving MSNBC any. Oh, here's you go.
So we've got to stand up to the federal government. We've got to stand up to bullies. We've got to stand up to an administration which is too male, too pale, and too stale.
Too male, too pale, and too stale. Okay.
Like that. All right.
Oh, look at Lou Valentino. I hope they tagged
y'all
him.
Ready for this? I don't think y'all ready for this. Here we go.
They didn't tag him.
In the heart of a Letitia James campaign event, one individual stands out. Hobo Judge Arthur Engeron's principal law clerk, Allison Greenfield, is in the front row taking pictures as the candidates bash President Trump. Greenfield's voice is audible, conveying criticism towards President Trump and his supporters. Greenfield can be heard expressing, Biden will be remembered as the greatest president ever. The video released shows...
We got to bring this back.
So this person here basically screen recorded a video of Lou Valentino's, and I'm not seeing any tags for him or anything on here leading anybody to Lou. So I did. Please sub to Lou Valentino on YouTube. This is his video. Can't stand it when people do, like, please don't take somebody's video and then not credit where it came from and not give people that's not your video, that's his. Dang it.
We got to bring this back.
In the heart of a Letitia James campaign event, one individual stands out. Hobo Judge Arthur Engeron's principal law clerk, Allison Greenfield, is in the front row taking pictures as the candidates bash President Trump. Greenfield's voice is audible, conveying criticism towards President Trump and his supporters. Greenfield can be heard expressing, "Biden will be remembered as the greatest president ever."
Huh?
The video released shows close-up shots of Greenfield capturing the moment with her camera.
So proud of this administration. I will dare to say that Joe Biden will be remembered as one of the most consequential and transformative presidents in the United States. Yeah.
And the people clapping, they all got masks on, by the way. And it's so crazy because these are people involved. This is the law clerk for the judge. These are people involved in this case. Now, you know what's crazy about this, and I'll keep playing this video because that's shocking within itself. But I just found an old video. I think this was in 2021. Letitia James, who's paid by George Soros to charge President Trump. Look who she's dancing with here. Anybody recognize this man right here? Does anybody recognize who this man is right here? That is Chuck
I knew
Schumer
it.
dancing with Letitia James.
I was gonna say Schumer looks just like that
New
weasel.
York AG, right? All these people. Once I told you, like this stuff is crazy to me because Letitia James, she legitimately sits there and says this right here. And I'll keep playing the other video because the other video is still very informative. I want to paint the picture for you guys of who Letitia James says she is versus who she says she isn't. This is what she says she is.
The president of the United States has complained that I'm engaging in some sort of political witch hunt, that
Yep.
I've got some personal vendetta against him, that I campaigned against him. That is not true.
So she claims, and this is what I mean with, remember how the other day Democrats wanted everyone to believe that, they wanted everybody to believe that Donald Trump was getting booed at the stadium, right? They want you to believe these things, right? They want you to believe that what you see is not real, but what they tell you it's real. So nowadays, it's not about what you see, it's about what you see
And what they tell you.
Like, if they don't, like, if you, let's say I see Donald Trump and I hear Donald Trump being cheered, they want you to believe that Donald Trump is being booed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they want you to
people believe
reality. And this is just crazy.
Well, what
The
do you,
president of the United States has complained that I'm engaging in some sort of political witch hunt, that I've got some personal vendetta
you
against him,
do.
that I campaigned against him.
You did.
That is not true.
Illegitimate president who sits in the White House.
That president, because he's not my president, he's an illegitimate president. His days are numbered. His days are numbered.
So is she gonna get the label of election denier anytime soon, or no? Is she okay because she's friends with Chuck Schumer and George Soros and all them people? She funded by Soros. I'd like to see her bank account. I hope Trump subpoenas it. I hope Alina Habba gets her. I really do. I really want to see who has funded her political career in this witch hunt, because that's what it is. This is fucking crazy.
We've got to get ready to mobilize, and we've got to get ready to agitate and irritate until victory is won, but more importantly, until Trump is defeated.
So that's her. Listen.
Did you hear what she said? Until truth is defeated. Facts. We want your feelings to matter more than facts. We're going to defeat the truth. Wow. See, God don't like ugly. And whatever is done in the dark will always come to the light. Okay? She inadvertently just said, we're here to defeat the truth. We will defeat the truth. I'll rewind it so you guys can hear it again. I hope Lou picked up on that. I know sometimes when I'm streaming and I'm in the heat of the moment and I miss something too, and then I rewatch afterwards to see your comments and everything else, man, I miss a lot of things and I beat myself up for that a lot. But I caught that. I don't know if any of you did, but let's do it again.
We've got to get ready to mobilize, and we've got to get ready to agitate and irritate until victory is won, but more importantly, until Trump is defeated.
So that's her. Listen, and this is the law clerk. This is how crazy this thing is getting.
Truth is defeated, huh?
Is that right now he got January 6th case, he got Fannie Willis, he got the boxes case, but he got this civil suit right here, which is trying to get him all out of New York. It's so wild. Let's take a listen to this, man.
The guns law, the chip bill, infrastructure bill, the Inflation Reduction Act, lowering restricting drugs, and
This is the most important election ever. It's true.
That's right.
We are engaged in an epic, maybe even generational fight against an anti-democratic movement, a dangerous anti-democratic movement, which has taken over one of the major parties of this country. You're going to become a judge. Like that. All
Wow.
right.
That was a great video. I'm going to have to look up that video of Lou's and watch that in its entirety, because Lou really does make some great content. He's also been demonetized. So if you guys want to help the channel, the donation links are in the description of the video. I don't think we're going to be getting it back anytime soon. They told me this latest interaction that I had with them, they said, yeah, you can go ahead and edit all of your videos and delete all of the harmful content. And we don't know if we'll give it back to you or not. I'm over here like, oh, well, then I guess we figure it out then. I got to wait till February 7th, I believe. I want to show you guys a little picture of something that I had saw. And I'm over here like, what the frick is this? This is going on in our country. Iowa. This is going on in our the Iowa this might be good. So a veteran decapitates a satanic look at CNN. Let's see what CNN has to say about this.
It's the display at the center of a free speech debate in America, the Satanic Temple of Iowa, putting up this scene in the Iowa state capitol. Built with the state's permission, it includes a statue of a goat-headed figure, along with the 7 tenets of the group's beliefs. But not everyone is feeling blessed by its appearance. Iowa's Governor Kim Reynolds calling it absolutely objectionable. Another Iowa lawmaker calling it disgusting.
It is.
And tonight, outrage hits a boiling point with the display vandalized and the goat-headed figure beheaded. I want to bring in the co-founder and spokesperson of the Satanic Temple, Lucian Greaves. Lucian, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with what happened to that display. How did you feel when you saw the damage?
Well, they had prayer rallies. They protested us. They denigrated the local government for following the law and opening the public forum to all viewers. And they still felt the need to tear down the statue or the.
So CNN is literally saying, well, how do you feel about your satanic statue being vandalized? Because I'll tell you what, in the Capitol building, if they put up a statue of Jesus, that Capitol building would be burned to the ground. And now CNN would be reporting on the statue of Jesus and calling this out for it's so radical and Christian, and look at what these Christian conservatives are doing. But you're embracing a Satanist with one wonky eyeball looking like he was spawned out of Satan's nutsack himself. What the frick has our country come to? Literally, they're just doing it out in the open now. Okay. All right. Okay.
Display that was put up by our Iowa congregation. I think it was a real act of cowardice. It's cowardice dressed up as heroism. It's acting like they're standing up for us when, in fact,
No,
when
against you.
politicians do this, and my understanding is that this is somebody running for public office, they're really yielding to the whims of an uncomprehending, undemocratic mob, and they don't have the spine to stand up for the values that they swore to uphold when they took an oath of office. And I think we saw similar from Ron DeSantis in his comments about us recently.
I'll tell you what, when you are sworn in for Congress or any political position, you have to swear on a Bible. And from what I hear, Obama didn't do that. He wouldn't do it. And neither did Joe Biden. So they're both illegitimate presidents in my eyes.
I'll get to Ron DeSantis' comments in just a moment, but the governor of Iowa, Kim Reynolds, she said earlier this week that she thought that the display was absolutely objectionable, but that in a free society, the best response to objectionable speech is more speech. She went on to encourage people to join her in praying over the Capitol. What did you think of that response? Were you surprised that it came from her?
I'm surprised that it did come from any of the politicians right now, and it's really courageous to take a stance for free speech at this point on either the left or the right. And there's a certain point at which we need some adults in the room to tell people what our liberal democratic values are, what their value is,
Agreed.
Why we uphold them, and what they're good for, and they need to stand up for these types of values, or we're going to further degenerate in our polarism towards autocracy.
No, you mean he lost his eye in a goating accident. Get it? Goating, goat, bah.
You were talking about Florida Governor Ron DeSantis earlier. He is criticizing an IRS rule that was put in place under the Trump administration that designated the Satanic Temple as a tax-exempt church. Is he right, though? Fundamentally, did the Trump administration's actions actually give your organization a legal standing to have this display?
I agree.
No, we have a system in place where we have a system of checks and balances, and we have static institutions like the IRS that work under a certain set of rules. And they're supposed to act neutrally in regard to viewpoint and just follow rote practices in which, if we fall within the parameters of the law, our rights will be respected the same as anybody else's. We don't want to yield some kind of power to the government to begin picking and choosing between religious groups.
But they do. So why isn't there a statue of Jesus Christ in there? Why do people that are Christian or even Jewish, why are they getting attacked for their religion? But you don't want it that way. How come you're okay with the Christians and the conservatives being ridiculously, people punish them all the time. People insult them all the time, but you're okay with that. But no, since your disco ball goat head was decapitated by a veteran who is fed up. We're fed up of the Satanism being pushed and promoted with music, with celebrities, with all of this. We don't care who you worship. Go ahead and worship Satan. Go right ahead. Who cares? But when you push it in other people's faces, that's wrong. And if you put Jesus Christ there, and if you were to honor Jesus, what? Or a statue of a Confederate soldier or Abraham Lincoln who freed the slaves, that y'all call him racist. What the fuck? That's okay though, right? But it ain't okay for a veteran that served this country to say, I don't want to see this in my Capitol building. Oh, I guarantee you they're going to blame this on Trump next. There's another saying it's Ron DeSantis' fault and everything. No, dude, nobody wants to see that shit. How about that? It's okay for you to have your beliefs, but don't put it on display for everybody, that everybody has to be tolerant to that, because that's not how life works. You're intolerant to Christians and conservatives. Well, then here's a little dose of your own medicine. Sorry, not sorry. Maybe you need to go get that eyeball fixed. That's creeping me out.
People might hate us and people might want to exclude us, but that simply opens the door to more sectarian battles, and it certainly won't stop there. Our IRS tax-exempt application certainly never came across Trump's desk. Trump wouldn't have comprehended it if he had seen it, and I think DeSantis knows that. It's just another display of cowardice from a politician who wants to play ignorant, I think. I think he knows better. I would be happy to debate him at any point. But I do think he is being a pathetic little coward when he calls us, when he tries to use us as a ploy to appeal to a mob of people who just don't understand what somebody like him very well should understand and should convey to the public instead of riling up
I can't
fears
stop
and
looking at his
animosity
eye.
between different people.
So what should we understand about the Satanic Temple group? What is the actual message that you're trying to convey? Many people would look at the name and they would say, is it satanic worship?
Satanist, Church of Satan. Who do you think they worship? Is that not the stupidest question? CNN, man. Come on. Come on. You guys can't be this stupid, can you? And of course, he's going to be like, no, that's not what it's about or nothing. We don't read the Satanic Bible or nothing. The reality has left a building. My God. I'm sorry for what these people
We're a
have done.
non-theistic organization, but honestly, I feel that the beliefs that we hold take second place to upholding these values that
Answer
I was
the question.
speaking of. There's books available about us. There's been a film about us. We have a website. There's articles written about us all the time. People interested in what we truly believe can find these things, and they can see how we engage pro-socially with the communities that we're in, how we have various congregations doing good things in various areas. If they don't like the symbolism behind what we're doing, if they don't like the mythological construct that we appeal to.
So what he just said, but not said, is yes, we do worship Satan, but we won't say that because we might lose our tax exempt status. Why won't you just say it?
That makes no difference. It's far greater evil, I think, to allow the government to begin, as I said, picking and choosing, elevating one religious voice over another, because that's a downward spiral. And that's not what we stand for. And that's not what liberal democracy stands for.
Liberal democracy. So what about conservative constitutional republic? We understand that you have a right to religious freedom. We do. But you know what? You can practice that at your temples. You can practice that in your homes. You can practice that at your conventions that you have every year where your attendees go to do that. But to put that in a state capitol building is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Why are you making it political? You said that Ron DeSantis is making it political, but who the fuck is? It wasn't Ron DeSantis who put that statue and that ridiculous altar or whatever it is. It wasn't Ron DeSantis that put it in there. It was you people. And now you're mad because what you're saying is that your religion matters more than everybody else's. And you're trying to convey a message that says, but you're trying to put one religion in front of the other. No, that's literally what you're doing. And it makes sense. It's not liberal democracy. Of course it is. Of course it is. You're trying to normalize all kinds of not normal stuff. And you're saying that your religion matters more. No, it doesn't. And it's funny because that same goat head it's at the White House again, probably. I don't know if it's there again, but it was last year. And was that there when Trump was in office? No. So I don't want to hear none of this Luciferian shit.
You say that the belief system takes second place to the broader values of religious freedom. That makes sense. But I wonder, I mean, this provocative, construct that was chosen here, Satanism, this display, was the intent to simply provoke people who of Christian faith who might find that to be against their religion, not just objectionable in and of itself, but actually against something that they believe?
Well,
this one I was laughing
for one
at.
thing, no, we don't do this just to provoke and offend them. But I also want to offer the caveat that even if that were what we were doing, even if we were offering criticism of mainstream traditional religious organizations, I would defend our right to do that. And that's why I have a difficult relationship with that kind of question.
I have a different relationship with that kind of question. So you're basically saying that your rights matter more than anybody else's, and you're basically saying rules for thee, but not for me. So you want to be disrespectful and you want to insult traditional Christian beliefs, but you don't like it when somebody else does it to you. I don't know. Maybe that eyeball, man, he has half insight into the reality of it. This eyeball's tripping me out, man. Ugh. Go get a fake one or something.
I really think, though, that if people did learn about us, they would find much less objectionable than they think.
Sorry.
But some people aren't willing to do that, but our public office holders should do a better job, and they should have more elevated standards.
All right, Lucian Greaves, thank you. Very interesting conversation. We appreciate it.
Of course you do. Of course you appreciate an interview with the creepy Satanist. Ew. No thanks. Look, I don't care about his religious freedom or not. I don't care if it's his. You can worship stupid Satan if you want to. I don't care. That's your business. But you're literally not going to. You're not going to do that on our home turf. And we're done. I think America has had enough, which I'm grateful to see that people are finally getting the cojones to stand up. And apparently DeSantis is paying the legal fees. Let's see it. Let's see it. Good. I'm proud of DeSantis for doing that. He vows to cover the legal fees in the satanic Iowa statue. Good. Good, Ron. Now go back to governing Florida, if you would, please. Cats in boots and cats in boots and cats in boots and cats in boots. This music is great. Okay, so Michael Cassidy, a 35-year-old Navy veteran who ran for Congress in Mississippi, was charged with fourth-degree criminal mischief. I'll kick in too. Oh, wait a second here. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute here. So how many liberal democracy lovers were charged with crimes for defacing and destroying statues of Abraham Lincoln, of Robert E. Lee? How many of them were arrested for that? How many of them were criminally charged? Just wondering, because I'm pretty sure none of them have been charged. Pretty sure. I'd have to look that up, but I'm guessing the number is 0. I'm guessing that none of those liberals were arrested. They weren't arrested for the BLM or Antifa riots either. Now, I will have faith in our government again, in our alphabet agencies again, when they start arresting people from Antifa and BLM riots and start arresting people that were defacing and destroying statues that are on the left. You'll gain some back. You'll gain some of the respect back that I have this much left. None left for them at all. Because they won't arrest anybody from BLM or Antifa. They still say Antifa is an idea. It's not real. They even have Twitter accounts and Facebook, pages and all kinds of shit. They've been, George Soros donated to Antifa. I mean, who did he donate to? Oh, where did they go? We could see that there's business transactions between Soros and Antifa. We're not going to arrest anybody in the BLM organization for starting riots. I don't know how many that cost $2 billion worth of damage. They bankrupted a few insurance agencies. They destroyed Black-owned businesses and everybody else's businesses as well, that they never regained, they would never open their doors again, including a couple of people I know personally. 25 people died during those riots. Yet the FBI doesn't have a most wanted list for BLM or Antifa riots. Now, do they? They don't have a most wanted list for the people that stormed the Capitol in Nashville after the Nashville shooting. They didn't charge anybody with insurrection there, or they didn't charge anybody with criminal trespassing there. They didn't send people to prison for 22 years, and they disrupted a real live, it was the Tennessee Capitol building where there was actual hearings going on. Nobody was arrested for that. What about when Rashida Tlaib just did it? I mean, there were people arrested there, but I wonder how many people. This was actual where they stormed the Capitol. And what about when they just stormed the DNC? Are they going to go to prison for 22 years? I doubt it. So I'm seeing such bullshit, hypocrisy, the two-tier justice system here. And I'm glad that Americans are finally standing up. Hey, this man, now he has a felony record. That's real nice, because I don't see he did anything wrong. His music sucks. There it is. Good prevails over evil. That's the American spirit. I agree. Cool. All right, so I feel like it's give, send, go, and it definitely wouldn't be GoFundMe, because GoFundMe is ran by a bunch of leftist turds that, they'd probably raise money to make a new satanic statue over a veteran, right? It was just expressing his religious beliefs. I mean, shit. Maybe, just maybe, it triggered his PTSD. Who knows? I hope he never has to work again in his life. Yep, I told you, give, send, go. And he was feeling the first time around. Good. What? Okay, so no. What do you think they did? Do you think they called Trump himself at the White House and said, "Excuse me, President Trump, the Satanic Church is trying to get status as a religion so they get a tax exempt"? First of all, I don't think that any religion should be tax exempt. Sorry, not sorry. If you are using religion to make a profit, I don't think you should be tax exempt at all. I don't think people like Joel Osteen should be tax exempt, because you guys remember when Hurricane Harvey came into Texas and he locked the doors, he padlocked the doors on his super mega church. Like, it's people like that who are no better than the satanic church in my eyes, or in, what is his name, Lucifer's eye, in his eye. You know, like, there's when I Billy Graham, there's not many people like Billy Graham out there anymore. You know, Billy Graham was a good-hearted man, and he literally did help a lot of people. He was very charitable, and he was a messenger of God. He really was. And he did it not for the money, not for the fame, not for the notoriety, right? We see preachers in New York who are getting robbed of $1 million worth of jewelry. They're driving Bugattis, they're driving Lamborghinis. And it's like, I feel like this. They should have to pay taxes like you or I. Or what we can do, we should start saying we're a religious organization. I'm a religious entity. Give me tax exemption, because I think we should all do that. Screw it. If they can do it, then we can do it too. I'm over here like, man, it's crazy that they will. These organizations literally get tax-free exemptions, and we, the people, are stuck paying the most in taxes. That ain't cool, and that ain't fair. And I don't think Trump was involved in this decision at all. I think the IRS does whatever the fuck they want to do, period. And I hate that Ron DeSantis would do that, man. I'm glad that he would pay his legal fees and help pay this man's legal fees because he's a veteran. But I'm sick and tired of him biting the hand that literally fed him and made him who the hell he is. You shouldn't be campaigning at all, Ron. You should be back in Florida where your people need you. They need a governor there, and you ain't even there at all. You ain't been there, and you literally signed it into law that stated you can't even ask me where I am. How about that? You are a governor. You are supposed to be there at your people's every whim and their beck and call. And if they need a governor, you should be there. But no, you're looking to climb up the political ladder. And I firmly believe that he will lose exponentially because of this. You're not a good person, Ron. We thought you were. My God, and Trump literally made you. If it weren't for Trump endorsing Ron DeSantis, he would have not beaten that other guy, Charlie Crist, or whoever his name was, the guy that was smoking crack and getting caught with the underage prostitutes in hotels. Get out of here, man. I've had enough of this. I'm done reading it because I'm just going to get even madder. And I don't like getting mad these days. I really don't. This last week has been difficult, man. I am tired. I am hurting. And I just don't have any patience for this bullshit. All right, guys. Part 2 of this video will be coming up next week. We will be finishing the letters to Trump. And we stopped. Gosh, I forget now. I don't want to rip this cover, but I almost did. We stopped on Tony Bennett, the Italian, not Italian. He was a crooner. He was a part of the whole Frank Sinatra and all of the. He was a good singer. Damn it. All right, so we're going to pick up where we left off next Saturday on this. I will be doing more videos this week, but I'm going to be pushing you guys a lot to Rumble. Don't forget Rumble. We are going to review the new Obama movie on Netflix. God, I love you guys. I do. I love you guys so much. I'll be taking one for the team. I still have... Here, look. They tore down our statues. They can give it, but they can't take it. Exactly. And I want to know when people are going to start getting arrested for that. No. Didn't they just deface the statue in Washington, D.C. and put a bunch of free Palestines up here and they spray painted it? How many of them were arrested? Do you know? Because I think none of them were. And I think it's about time Americans stand up and start saying something about it and doing something about it, because this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous anymore. All right, y'all. I love you very much. Watch out for, I'll put a community post out when I'll be doing that video on Rumble. It'll probably be tomorrow because it's Sunday. I know it's a day of rest, but I think we need to watch that. And again, I won't be talking throughout it. We'll play it and then we'll talk about it after. We'll do a full movie review and we'll talk about it after the fact. I feel like this. It's about time that everybody knows what's going on. But I'll watch out for the community posts. I'll post that. Make sure you guys hit the like button before you go. And please, again, make sure that you guys visit. Make sure you guys visit this website right here. Let me show you, because it is Christmas time, and those people that are on your list who are literally super duper 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 hard to shop for, make sure you visit mypillow.com and you use my promo code, because you will get almost up to 80% off. It says 50%, but it's actually up to 80% with this promo code. And I do have that linked on my Twitter. So here, I'll link it right here in the chat if you guys can. And Mike Lindell, he did promise that if you get your gifts now, then you will get your gift by Christmas. And I think that's amazing. And I think the people over at My Pillow are working very hard. They're working very hard to get you guys the Christmas gifts. They have gift cards. They have everything. Please go check it out. It's mypillow.com/justjen. My coupon code will automatically apply, and you'll get the instant savings. It's amazing. The Giza Dream sheets are phenomenal, you guys. I'm a very big stickler when it comes to sheets. I like nice, thick, soft sheets, and their Giza Dream sheets are phenomenal. I wouldn't tell you if I didn't believe in the product myself and I didn't use it myself, I wouldn't promote it. I'm not that kind of person. I love his products. I love the products, the dish towels, the bath towels, the washcloths. They're super duper soft, but they are very absorbent and they dry off that quick, man. It's absolutely amazing. Don't forget to put the lotion on the skin. Make sure you visit mypillow.com/justjen or call 1-800-859-0173. You can do the phone orders too, you guys. They also have gift cards available, but they have a lot of Christmas stuff out there too, like Christmas themed stuff. So make sure you guys go check that out, please. All right, you guys. I love you guys so very much. I love seeing this. We will not reset, we will restore. And I believe that fully, you guys. Look, people are so naive to the Great Reset. And I had a really strange theory. Please tell me you feel this too. All right, the WEF, Klaus Schwab, he said this. We'll have a great reset, right? They want to make the population and shrink the population down to 500 million people. Okay, 500 million, is that what? Because you want to control them, right? 500 million is a lot better to control than what we have today. 5 months before the scandemic was, the China virus was released onto the world. 5 months before, I watched this on Epic Times. Roman from Epic Times actually posted this video. They did a simulation of what would happen on a global pandemic called COVID-19. It was crazy, you guys. They literally, I want you guys to watch it. It's on Facts Matter with Roman. Let me see if I can pull up his channel. It's insane. It really is. I'm looking up my channel. Hold on. Facts Matter. It's called Facts Matter. COVID. It was a simulation. 5 months before the virus hit, right? Where is it? They won't put, where's Facts Matter? Is it Truth Matters? Let me see. I think is it Truth Matters? Let me see. Facts Matter. I think it's Facts Matter. Yeah, it is. Facts Matter with Roman Balamov. And he's from the Epic Times, right? Let me see. He has a video on his channel, okay? He has a video on his channel, and I was watching it before. And it was really crazy. The 3 globalist lies destroyed. And I think it was that video. And I really want to do the documentary called No Farmers, No Food, because I think people need to see that, the importance. But anyways, so they had the simulation out 5 whole months before, and they played the scenarios of the media, what the media would say, and the scripts. And what's so crazy is this came out 5 months before the pandemic hit, and literally word for word, verbatim, they had this all scripted out. It's insane when you see it. You're just like, ugh. So they want to whittle down the population. Kamala Harris has been caught saying population control quite a few times. They want to whittle down the population. How better to do it, right? How many people died during the scandemic? Did anybody know how many? Millions of people died. Okay. Millions of people died, whether they got it and, they had an underlying condition where when they got the Rona, it just, now we're seeing people dying of heart attacks, young people, middle-aged people, people my age, singing songs, dropping like flies because of the Fauci ouchie. It's insane how many people are dying. I think it killed my father. I honestly believe it did. I think it killed my dad. So what other than that? Okay. And then abortion. So they're pushing the abortion. Now Ohio, how this happened in Ohio, they legalize abortion, make late-term abortion, and everything is legal here now. It's crazy. So scandemic, abortion, and I had one more. They're doing they're promoting civil war. They're opening a border, okay, allowing 10 million people into America, okay? And I firmly believe those people were let in to control the population. I know it's weird. It seems weird because letting people in, doesn't it seem like it would affect the population the other way? No. I firmly believe that the invasions happened on purpose. I firmly believe that those people were led into America to kill people like me, that look like me, that believe in Christ. I just got this weird gut feeling. I really do. I think that the open border, I think that's going to be instrumental in doing away with, with helping with population control. I firmly believe it. I really do. And it's going to happen all over the world. We're seeing all these videos of these migrants, taking people out, literally unaliving them. I was just watching a Texas, she was 16 years old or 15. It was 15 or 16-year-old girl that was stabbed repeatedly. She was a cheerleader, and it was because it was some guy that shouldn't have been here. How do you tell a family, look, your daughter is dead, and this guy that shouldn't even been here did this? It's insane. It really is. So I think the border was a plan. That's why he opened the borders wide open. I think the scandemic was a plan because there's proof that it was. And I firmly believe that they're focusing on gun control so much so that we're going to be defenseless. Okay. That's what I think. I think they want us defenseless. And here is the video. It's the 3 globalist lies destroying traditional America, like the eating of bugs and everything else. It's really crazy. I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks this way or not, but I really do. I fear for what's coming. I really do. And how do we get these people out of here? And here you go, Richard Strybeck. Smart reason for you to buy guns. Yes, the more they say get away from guns and we want to put more gun control, that's more reason for you to buy more guns and more ammo. I feel like it's crazy. It's really we're on the fast track to this Agenda 2030. And if people would simply look at the guy's book, Klaus Schwab wrote a book called The Great Reset. It says it all there. It talks about climate crisis. When these people Do you think they fly commercially? Anybody that's involved with the World Economic Forum, do you think that they fly like in coach or in a commercial airline like Delta or United? No, fuck no. Do you think John Kerry does? No, 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 no. He flies in a private jet. John Kerry flies in a private jet that makes in one trip more CO2 emissions than your typical American would in their entire life. One trip on his private jet. Al Gore, same thing. What's her stuff? Greta Thunberg. She flies private jets all over the place, but you're over here preaching about climate and you're flying in private jets. My God, it don't make no damn sense to me anymore. And I feel like they're pushing climate control, and because they're going to say, well, you need solar panels, no more gas stoves. You're telling me I can't have a gas stove, but you're flying in a private jet. So no, I'm keeping my gas stove. I don't care about anything you say. You're going to have to come here and fight me for it. Okay. You want to take it? You're going to have to take it out of my cold dead hands, because we're Italian. We don't cook on electric. Sorry, not sorry. I know some people, you might cook on electric stovetop, but that's okay. I like gas. You know, natural gas, they're trying to just destroy everything, and it really sucks. They're trying to, Joe Biden especially, is trying to destroy all of the coal plants. Coal is a clean energy. You're like, what the fuck is going on? He wants to put up windmills and solar panels. And where does these come from, you guys? Does anybody want to take a wild guess? Same place the damn virus came from, China. And not only does it wreak havoc on the environment, it kills birds, and it costs more, and it makes more money. It takes money out of Americans' mouths and takes more money out of our economy, and it puts it in China's economy. What the hell is going on here? And it spells it all out in Klaus Schwab's book. They want us to eat bugs. They want to kill our cows because they're farting too much. Well, what about dogs and horses and people? I'm sure these politicians who are all for slaughtering hundreds of thousands of cattle, I'm sure they fart too. Can't we get rid of them? That's what it's going to be next. Oh, this human is very gassy. We got to get rid of them. Sorry, folks. It's for climate change. What is going on here, man? I feel like this. I feel like they need to, they can eat bugs themselves. And I feel like the farmers really do need to stand up. The farmers, and we need to stand behind the farmers. And we need to be more self-sufficient. We really do. You know, we really do. Greta's smarter than AOC. I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh God. I don't know. I think I don't know, man. That's crazy, man. It's crazy. Let me see here. Check a boom called verbatim. This is all this crap going on, been planned since the 50s. I believe it. I believe it, man. Climate change is a bunch of bullcrap. My second grade teacher described our weather 55 years ago. We're getting closer to the sun. What's next? They're going to take out the sun. Is that what they're going to do? It's insane, you guys. It's really insane. But I feel like people need to stand up, and we have to do something about it now. You know, if you can, go subscribe to Lou Valentino. I think he's a really great content creator. Love Lou. He's good people. Good friend of mine. Also, Facts Matter with Roman here. Oops, wrong one. Sorry. So don't forget, you guys, here's what's up next week. Next Saturday, we will conclude Letters to Trump. And we'll also tomorrow be streaming the Obama movie. And I want you guys to go subscribe to Roman Facts Matter with Roman here. Roman Balamakov. Sorry, he's got one of those crazy Russian last names. He has very good videos here, and he also is with the Epic Times. I think great channel, great content. Make sure you guys are following me on Rumble. Make sure you guys visit My Pillow for up to 80% off. Let me change this real quick because, well, I think it's going to go back to 50% off come after the holidays. But there we go. After the holidays, it goes back down to 50% off. This will be your only one of your only times where you can save this much. I really do appreciate you guys. My Patreon has been in the chat. My moderators are awesome, amazing people. Thank you, Velly. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Dorinda. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you guys. The Patreon is free, but if you want to unlock like the bonus stuff and all this, that, and the other, you have to join it. It's like $3 a month or something crazy like that. Nothing bad at all. And donation links are in the description for those who want to keep the channel, help me keep the channel going. After the first of the year with my Patreons, I will be making a paid members list. That'll be effective January 1st. So anybody who joins before January 1st will be, and I guess after we get new paid members, I'm going to have to keep adding to the list. It's very hard to do. I tried it once, but I'm going to succeed this time. I did do it once. It was great. I had your guys' name scrolling across my stuff, but I'm going to make a banner of some sorts, like a piece of graphic art with your guys' names on it. I think that would be a great way to say thank you for the support of the Patreon and stuff like that and keeping everything going, because this bullshit with, well, we can't tell the truth because it's harmful. It's bullshit, man. People don't want to hear it, then don't listen. Scroll past, but I guess, I don't know. People are just dumb anymore with that. They're so soft, and I hope that we can bring masculinity back. Stop emasculating men. Stop making them a bunch of wussies. I'm sick and tired of it, because when push comes to shove, guess what? Oh, and I also think that they're pussifying our military as well, making our military a bunch of wussies, so that when shit hits the fan, we're not going to have any defense. That's what I think. All right, y'all. I appreciate you. Remember, tomorrow we're streaming the Obama movie on my Rumble. You have to join me on Rumble in order to watch it, because I can't put it here. Of course, it'll be playing for 2 seconds and then they'll shut me down. But not Rumble. We can do it there. So, all right. I really appreciate you guys coming. Stay strong. Stay blessed. And don't be afraid to stand up. Okay, but don't be getting in no trouble, you guys, please. And if you do, call me. I'll bail you out. No, I'm just kidding. I won't, because I can't afford it anymore. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys here on Rumble tomorrow. See ya. Bye now.